Good afternoon and welcome to Illinois for the first of our SimWorld TV triple header. Lakeshore Drive playing host to the ATLiens in must-win basketball as we have officially entered the final third stretch of the SimWorld Hoops season. I'm Marsh, joined in the booth today. LOBLO, how are we doing today?
Oh, it's been a great day. Honestly, it's just one of those days where you wake up, you smile, you put your clothes on, you brush your teeth, and you just tune into some SimWorld basketball. Like, who wouldn't want a day where, life could just be like that? We've got some great basketball coming up, too, so.
Indeed we do. ATLiens sitting at 10 and 11, currently the 7th seed in the conference as they try to stay above the fray in the race to one, a fray in the Legend Conference that runs pretty deep. Meanwhile, Lakeshore Drive towards the bottom of said fray in the Legacy Conference, trying to fight their way up. They are a game and a half back of SimWorld Atlantis, 2 games back in the win column as they look to try to make headway to rally up, but to do so they will need a win tonight. What are you looking for in this one? Let's start with the ATLiens.
Well, I noticed that, when you look at this team, the ATLiens, they're just, they don't have a lot of big guys, right? Mario Duval has kind of been their main person for that team, right? When he gets it going, everybody gets involved. But this is one of those teams where, you've kind of got your star, and I don't know. I don't want Maestro to come and attack me for this one, but they're that sort of dirty team that everyone talks about. They're very gritty. They get aggressive. They get after it and look for that aggression to carry them throughout this game. But on the other side for Lakeshore Drive here, like you said, it's kind of been, sort of a disappointing season for them. We wish that we would have seen a lot more from them, but they do have a lot of bright spots in Zay Gore, D'Angelo Jordan. I just called a game yesterday with both those two, and they absolutely had a phenomenal game. So look for those two to be the stars, the ones to produce tonight.
Well, it's a Lakeshore Drive team that flirted with potentially adding Lorenzo Phenom in the offseason. Obviously, he ended up staying put in with Bad Boys basketball. But you mentioned the struggles. Drake Harvell has had a very difficult second season here with Lakeshore Drive as the opening tip heads to them. Indeed, it's a difficult run from Drake Harvell in the fact that he just has not been dominant as a triple kicks things off for Lakeshore Drive. 40% shooting, 37% from deep. Not what many expected with Nation and Harvell. What people thought might be the best backcourt in basketball simply has not been this season.
And it's interesting, when we talk about backcourts in basketball, right? That sort of 1-2 punch coming from the point guard and shooting guard position. And we didn't really see that from them. Another 3 in the corner there, but we didn't really see that from them in the beginning. But, as the season, we're getting near the end of the season. As you said, we're getting close to the race to one, and every single game at this point matters for teams who are trying to claw into that position. You really need your 1-2 punch to make sure that they're on point with whatever system is going on between the coaching. They got to be on communication, and they got to make sure that everybody else that's on that team is on the same page as them.
Well, D'Angelo Jordan gets that jumper to go, and Lakeshore Drive 3 for 3. Zay Gore, Jordan, and Norman Nations kicking off the scoring for Lakeshore Drive. Up early, 8-0. Game, again, they need to win this one in order to be potentially on the rise as DeMario Duval gets a very difficult shot to go. That one over top of Jordan.
That's a lot of contact there. And I'm surprised he got it through, but, he practiced that, so.
Here's Gore, and correct me if my eyes are deceiving me. Gore is turned away, Lath Money the board, gets it to go. We have not seen much of anything from Drake Harvell. He is in fact on the floor, but he has not touched the ball yet for Lakeshore Drive as we hit the 2-minute mark in this first quarter.
And it's interesting enough here, he's one of those guys whenever I watch his sort of game that, he kind of shows up a little bit later in game. He shows up a little bit later in games. The games that I had with him yesterday, he didn't really show up until the second and third quarter. But when he does, that's that stretch that you kind of sort of need, right? When the game is tight, closely contested, and then you kind of have that guy that kind of pops out shadows in the second and third quarter and really turn it on. That's sort of him, So look for that to be his time to strike.
Jordan can't get that one to go. Rebound to Mahmoud. Up and out for Mudo, no bucket. 10-4
getting
Lakeshore
good
Drive.
buckets.
Go ahead, LL.
They're not. I'm just saying. I'm watching this game here. Great defense. They're playing great defensively in certain aspects, but it's just the buckets that they're going for early on. I'm not really liking. You know, they're walking it up and trying to lay it up. You're not really setting up any offense right now. ATL.
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of ball movement for an ATLiens squad that's coming off a win over the Indy Stripes on June 15th, 68-53. A great game in that one from Mahmoud. He had a couple big three-pointers down the stretch to help them pull away. That was their first win after losing 86-55 to Run DMV, as the three won't fall there. Rebound to Mahmoud.
Shout out my man Mood.
To the rack he goes, won't get it to go. Rebound offensively, followed by Isaiah Rose.
And that's a tough bucket right there. Following the shot, it looked like it could have went in, but that's what I mean by them being gritty, getting after it, especially offensively on the boards there. Great dunk there by Lath Money, but that's what ATL is. That's their identity, you know. They're not going to be a team that'll wow you with style points and shots and three-pointers all over the place, but they get down and dirty. They do the dirty. They get gritty with it, and that's exactly what I like about a team, a gritty team that knows how to pull out wins, and hopefully they can do that tonight.
12-6, Lakeshore Drive on top here. To the rack goes Duval, unable to get that one to go. Duval, an up-and-down season, leading score for the ATLiens, 18.5, but not one of the more hyper-efficient scorers in the league, shooting just 44% from the floor, 36% from deep. Jordan hacks this one up from deep. Foot on the line, though. 2 points, 14-6.
And they are getting to it on and early here, Lakeshore Drive. Can they keep it up, though, throughout the entirety of this game? But I like to see that they're putting their foot on the gas pedal early here with Jordan, with Harvell in the corner, Zay Gore getting in the mix. I love that they're getting their foot on the gas early. But we'll see if that continues throughout the rest of this game. Great steal.
Turnover there from Duval, doing a lot of isolation work, is the leading scorer for the ATLiens, but a turnover on the other end from Harvell. Quickly up, tipped out, recovering that one, but leaving it on the front rim is Jackson Glenn.
They honestly got to reset there. And that's a great job of them actually resetting at this point because they needed it.
Jackson Glenn can't get the wide open deep two to fall. So a disappointing possession from Glenn, and then a slam on the other end from Lath Money. And Lakeshore Drive up top by 10 here in the first quarter.
He's been attacking. He's very aggressive when it comes to being in the paint. Lath Money, my guy, money man.
Isaiah Rose, the screen, trying to free up Glenn, unable to get anything. Duval probing on his own. Ball finds his way to Mahmoud up top. Duval, the three, gets it. Team leader in threes, makes his 38th on the season.
Great ball movement there, that entire possession to set up. See, and that's what ATL's got to do. Great ball movement will set you up for the shots that you want throughout the shot clock. It may take some time, but it's okay. You know, you want to use that shot clock to get yourself a great shot instead of just settling for a good one.
These Nations can't get that to go, Bello. You hit it on the head. That was the first possession that we've seen in this entire game in which the ball kind of flowed freely through the offense and didn't get stuck in the hands of Duval. Here again, we're seeing a little bit more creation.
What a
and leads it inside, but unable to finish it as Rose. A good feed inside there from Mahmoud.
Oh, that's a great pass there. You got to finish that one. At least for the highlight reel, you got to finish that one.
Here's Gore up top, finds to Jordan. Jordan getting a little opportunity on ball for the big man. Pull up from the mid-range, won't go. Lath Money, the offensive
Money
putback.
once again. Money man with the slam.
Timeout, ATLiens will step aside. 1:33 to play in the first. Lakeshore Drive doubling up ATLiens 18-9 here in Illinois. Welcome back to Illinois, Ballerz Athletic Center. ATLiens staring down a 9-point deficit on the road. Invite you're tuning into this on YouTube to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so every time we go live here on SimWorld TV, you are aware of it. Plenty of action as the race to one season or race to one landscape, LO, starts to take shape. LSD, ATLiens both in the fight, but of course tune in as all games are broadcast here on YouTube. So like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications. And looks like a little miscommunication here. Lakeshore Drive is going to be called for the 5-second violation, and we're actually going to step aside. I take that back. Looks like, oh, indeed, it was indeed a miscommunication. So they just did not get the ball in. Somebody doesn't know how to count apparently in Illinois. LO.
It looked like I think he was, I didn't know that. I don't think he realized he had the ball in his hand. It looked like he was looking towards the coach because I think he was signaling. He was trying to run something there, but I think he was too busy looking at the coach to realize that the ball was in his hand and the clock had went off. So I'm not entirely sure, but like that is a huge mental mistake there for ATL.
Not what you want to see coming out of a timeout, that's for sure. So that opens up the door here for the ATLiens. Lath Money does not make them pay, however. Misses the mid-range jumper despite the smaller defender on him. Decides to pull up. Lakeshore Drives avoids the first potential shot to the foot. Second round of subs in there. Kalen Colbert with the ball currently.
And you notice with ATL, there's a lot of motion, a lot of screens. You'll see it a lot throughout the way that they play here. Bad pass, but just watch their offense. A lot of motion, a lot of screening to get people open.
Morris Shields shut off on the drive there from Duval. Duval, despite being 7 inches shorter than Shields and more than 30 pounds lighter, able to stop that drive. Lead to a 3-ball. That is good. Angelo Roman gets that default feed from Zay Gore. Lead extends to 13, largest of the game. 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 2-for-1 opportunity now in place for Lakeshore, for Lakeshore Drive. Richard Alpine on the follow.
It's a great block there defensively, but you just got to follow through with the block, A lot of people don't really follow through with the blocks, and they end up giving a lot of second chance points, and that's what's going to kill Lakeshore Drive if they keep allowing these second chance rebounds and they start turning it into second chance points.
Zay Gore, 3 on the clock, shoots the 3, nothing but air as that heads out of bounds.
Oh Lord. That's not the shot. That's not the shot you want to take with 4 seconds left.
And that will end our first quarter. 21-11, Lakeshore Drive on top of the ATLiens at home. Must-win basketball for both. Lakeshore Drive answering the call early. ATLiens trying to respond second quarter after this. We're back in Illinois. Lakeshore Drive, the early lead over the ATLiens. LO, 8 minutes in. What is your biggest takeaway from that first quarter?
Well, I think, ATL playing very scrappy defensively. They're just I feel like they're just allowing too many wide open shots. But whenever they're there, they make shots tough for Lakeshore Drive to hit, you know. But when they don't get their rotations correctly, it leads to, you know, the big gap like this. Lakeshore Drive, they did have their foot gas on the pedal, right? They were able to get easy money buckets on the inside. Latham Money was doing his thing. But I want to really pay attention to the way Zagor has been playing, right? He's been one of those guys that's been a gadget player for this team, right? Not just in the scoring category, but setting up other players to score. What a grown man to finish. Oh, my goodness.
Richard Alpine with a two-handed slam, a statement dunk from the 6'8", 240-pound 17-year-old. Very few players are going to match the physical size of Alpine. And a block here. Heads the opposite direction. Trying to string together some possessions are the ATLiens, down 8. DeMario Duval kick scoring off in the second quarter. Here comes Colbert. Does a little fadeaway. Can't get that to fall. Offensive board for Alpine. Kicks out to Colbert. Back up top to Duval. Ball swings its way around now to Abasai Dance.
And this is when they start to look good here in that motion offense, but that's not the shot you want to take. Great rebound.
Alpine, a second offensive board on the possession, and Richard Alpine has cut this lead to 6. ATLiens coming out hot here in this second quarter.
That is a big man there, Morris. That's a big man. I'm sorry. This is what it is. He's big.
Well, he's got 4.6 rebounds. Comes off the bench for this team, though, and that's the third most on the team. So you have to imagine, given a little bit larger runway, Alpine would probably find his way into a little bit more. So he's backing down, gets it to go. Alpine cooking in the second quarter, using Kyrie Holtzclaw as a practice dummy.
He's just hey, look, I seen him before the game. This is not a sponsor, but I did see him before the game eating his Wheaties, and I mean, you see it, how big it. But wow, what a shot!
Strings around for 3. Angelo Roman kicks off. Well, second bucket for Lakeshore Drive. Tries to clench the bleeding here.
That's shooter's touch right there, and that shooter's touch from a shooter themselves.
Great feed there from Colbert inside to DeMario Duval. Colbert comes off the bench, listed at 5'6". I don't know if he's quite that small, but he's certainly no gargantuan point guard. But with him on the floor, does allow Duval to operate as an off-ball scorer, as Roman's jumper won't fall. And we're seeing a little bit of success for that as Lakeshore Drive is getting a little bit more activity, driving into the paint. Can't get that one to go.
And the big thing I want to, point out and notice is that almost every single bucket during this possession always goes through that man's hands right there first, right? He's always looking, he's always kicking it to somebody. And, during that break, I did get to notice that, Zagor, his assist rate goes up high throughout these games. People don't normally notice that, but typically when there is a score, when there is a bucket, it's always in his hands first before he kicks it to somebody. But wouldn't it be interesting if he broke the record previously held by Mr. Ballerz for the assist in the Ballerz Arena?
Timeout here on the floor, down 6. ATLiens looking to cut into this second quarter midway. We're stepping aside back after this. Welcome back to Illinois. Lakeshore Drive seeing their 13-point lead dwindle down to 6. Richard Alpine has been dominant here on the glass in the second quarter, and he's going to work yet again. This one turned away, though.
Woo! Great defensive
D'Angelo
man.
Jordan checks in after Kyrie Holtzclaw was kind of used as an example by Richard Alpine. Not so easily done against D'Angelo Jordan at 6'9", 199, just a more athletic player. But a three in the corner from Kalen Colbert, and the lead is down to 3.
This team just looks, you can see it in their eyes, right? They aren't phased by who they're going up against. They look very motivated throughout this game here, and you could just see it, you know, the way that the ATLiens play with a confidence, with that grit, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what you get from this team, right? They don't look afraid, they don't look stirred, even though they were down, what was it, 21-9 in that first? If you're just tuning in now, you would have thought this game has been close throughout the entirety of it, but
well, Lakeshore Drive trying to add to it, and they do. An alley-oop there, a little playmaking showcase from D'Angelo Jordan, who also on that last possession turned aside, or at least made Richard Alpine try to work for it. Alpine goes in again, can't get it to go, and he's now 0 for 3 when guarded by D'Angelo Jordan on the last 4 possessions for Lakeshore Drive. This is Drake Harvell answering the bell, and the lead back up to 7. So what was working for the ATLiens no longer is that pounded inside to Alpine approach, not drawing the outcomes they were looking for.
And an underrated part of D'Angelo Jordan's game is especially his defense, the way that he's able to guard these bigger players, right? He isn't really, doesn't have that much weight to him, but like you see how he is, his wingspan, he's able to secure rebounds like that, but his wingspan is, helps whenever he doesn't have the weight. He might be getting back down, but that's able to help him defensively, how long his arms are to get blocks and at least some sort of contest on the defensive end.
Certainly no finesse moves being showcased by Richard Alpine in those matchups. Pure power. Now Alpine trying to slow down Drake Harvell. Harvell, the midi at the buzzer, won't fall. Rebound to Colbert. No DeMario Duval on the floor currently for ATLiens.
Oh, you had to see him cutting inside.
Colbert trying to show off some post skills. Pushes his way around to Jackson Glenn, finds his way to Mahmoud. We haven't seen anything from Mahmoud as he fires up a 3 and won't get it to go. The offensive drought continues.
Great ball movement, but it just seemed like the play broke mid-play. It looked like it was going to set up something real nice on the inside, but it just seemed like midway through it, the play broke, which led to the 3. But the ball movement is still there. Don't go away from it.
6-0 run from Lakeshore Drive, pushing this lead back up to 9. Alpine, the fader, won't go. Rebound to Mudo, kicks out to Colbert. 10 seconds to shoot on the shot clock. He'll try a fadeaway of his own, rattles that one home, stops the bleeding ever so slightly here with 1:02 to play in the opening half, lead down to 7.
That's a nice shot there. That's a confident shot there with the shot clock winding down. That's bag work.
Turnover from Jordan, taken by Colbert. Opportunity to dwindle the clock slightly. Has Mudo inside on the pick and roll, gets him to go.
Great pass, great finish, all around great basketball. Pick and roll, one of the most common plays in a basketball game when he gets it to go.
See if Lakeshore Drive wants to go for the 2 for 1. 32 seconds in the first half. It'll be Jordan firing up the 3. Bottoms.
Beautiful down screen there to get him open at the top of the wing. And that's simple basketball. I'm telling you, that pick and roll action, whether it's on ball or off ball, just works so well for both of these teams.
D'Angelo Jordan showcasing some of that maybe hybrid wing, 6'9", but shoots 37% from deep on pretty high volume. Dangerous threat in this one moving forward. Colbert will try a 3 of his own. That won't fall. Rebound heads the opposite direction. We'll try the heave. It's Harvell off the back rim, Nations, and that'll do it. First half in the books. Lakeshore Drive on top, 36-28 as we head to the break. Hello, this is a game it felt like when DeMario Duval was on the floor, things were better for ATLiens, but perhaps more importantly, the on-off splits for D'Angelo Jordan for Lakeshore Drive have been the deciding factor so far in the first 16 minutes.
Well, if if you have a hot hand, you got to continue to feed him, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're getting him in spots where he can take high-quality, high-volume shots, and he's just been knocking them down. He's been having a great night. So continue to have him lead you going into these third and final quarters. But ATL, you got to find a way to stop that man, right? You got to find a way to stop him. You got to find a way to stop the bleeding whenever Zagor gets the ball, because he's been dissecting this defense piece for piece. Reminded me of a prime Chris Paul with the thickness the way he's dissecting. So you got to figure out a way to stop that.
Efficient scoring second half on deck after this. Welcome back to Illinois second half, about to get underway, and it is now Lakeshore Drive holding on to an 8-point lead thanks to 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists from D'Angelo Jordan in that first half. LO, he was dominant on the boards as he pulls in a rebound there. He was a great shooter, and he also, when he stepped on the floor after Richard Alpine helped lead the ATLiens back into this game, immediately stopped that type of production that we were seeing and kind of righted the ship for Lakeshore Drive.
And, you know, he's been a big part, like you said, as to why they are in the position that they are. The way that he's been playing this game, offensively, defensively, confidence-wise, he's been taking smart shots. He knows when to pass. Defensively, he came in and stopped Richard Alpine whenever he was going on quite a run there. And if he continues to do that throughout the third and fourth quarter, you know, this could get really ugly really quick.
Isaiah Rose running the rim for 2 more. And this is the first of our SimWorld Hoops triple header tonight. It's Bad Boys Basketball and Best Coast Ballers up next at 8 p.m. in Rocky Mountain and Southeast at 9. And then, of course, another doubleheader tomorrow night. Yacht Club and Gotham 5 kick things off at 7 p.m. Indy Stripes Lone Star Basketball at 8. Three-pointer won't fall, won't hit anything except backboard shot clock violation.
Ooh, yeah, that's not the pretty one. They talk about sending him to the NBA, nothing but air, because that's the only thing that he was seeing on that shot there.
So a tough start to the first minute and a half for Lakeshore. Can they find a way back into this? Jackson Glenn turns down the open 3. Mario Duval to the rack, soft touch inside, falls. We're seeing, again, we talked about D'Angelo Jordan being a positive impact. Certainly when Demario Duval is out there, he has been much more aggressive and has helped this ATLiens offense from being stagnant.
And start to watch here in this third quarter, right? Picture it like this for everybody watching at home. You take a piece of paper, right, and you dip it in water, right? And that's basically what just happened there, right? Watch as ATL starts to poke holes in this piece of paper, all right? And as it's wetter, it's easier to poke holes. They're going to start poking at this defense. from there, you're going to start seeing plays like that. They're poking small little holes in that defense, and they're clawing their ways back into this game.
Duval buries the three over top of Jordan, who was expecting the screen to come, got an ounce of space, and Duval took advantage of a good defense there by Glenn on Nations. Forces the miss inside, and a chance here for the ATLiens to take the lead.
A mismatch. We got to miss. Oh, he got to use that mismatch on the inside. Come on.
Mario Duval says, check this mismatch. Can't get it to fall. Rebound won't fall for Isaiah Rose either. Heads the opposite way for Lath Money, who had a good first quarter, went a little quiet in the second.
It's not the shot that you want to take there in that position. When you have the opportunity to take the lead, especially early in the third, that would have been a huge one if they were able to capitalize. Now we're looking at a three-point game.
Norman Nations on the layup. Fake screen, dives to the hoop. Found wide open. Here's Jackson Glenn, screen of his own, gets the ball over to Duval, guarded by Gore. Double team comes.
Inside.
Had the man wide open, but a turnover from Mudo had Glenn wide open in the paint, unable to see that due to the double team.
And it was there, like you said, it was there. But now Lakeshore Drive is starting to patch up those holes in that paper, like I mentioned earlier, which is not what you want in this situation here. They got to still continue to go back to the motion that they was running, right? They had a lot of motion, had a lot of offense, and they were dissecting that defense apart. Duval cannot start getting complacent with the game being this close, feeling that he needs to take every single shot. Keep running the offense the way that it's been ran, and trust me, you'll get back in this one.
Adam Mahmoud rattles that one home for two, 40-37, but what we've seen on the last two possessions for Lakeshore Drive is a timeout comes for LSD. They're using that fake screen to free Norman Nations to get inside, bringing him up as if he's going to screen the ball handler, dives, and Jackson Glenn, LO, has not been able to stick with him. That's led to some wide open buckets.
It definitely has, And, March, while we do have this timeout during this break, I do want to ask you, a lot of times we talk about, being a part of the game and everybody that gets involved with this sim world community, the sim world that we have. So like me, if I was an avid follower of the sim world and I wanted to be a part of the game, where exactly would I be able to go to do all that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. There's many ways that you can do that. First, you got to join the Discord, discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. Once there, feel free to apply to be a head coach. You can apply to be a player. You can apply to join this broadcast team, be a writer if that's what your life ambitions are, to cover professional sports, because what makes this not professional, I don't know. But right. Discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. Opportunities abound for any number of pathways that you choose to take.
See the game, be the game. We say it every single broadcast, and we mean it. All right? Trademark incoming. Trust me. It is in the works by me personally. The trademark is incoming. Don't worry about that one, okay?
Hello, you're a great hype man, I can already tell.
What was that? It's been confirmed already, trademark. The papers just went through. Thank you. I'll sign this. All right, you have a great day. And the trademark is complete.
Problem solved on live television.
Live television.
Bucket there for Kyrie Holtzclaw. He checks in for Jordan. And we'll see if a counter punch is thrown here by the Troy Hamilton head coach for ATL, and see if to get Richard Alpine in, as Mahmoud's three won't fall. Opportunity there to cut it to two. Rebound for Angelo Roman.
That was a great shot there. And don't worry, even though the shots aren't falling, good move there. And oh my goodness, good move and a tough finish. They scored. Talk to him.
Zay Gore helping power this offense here. And a block now. That's from Lawrence Shields. Shielding the hoop.
Oh my goodness. This will start to get ugly if they get a bucket here.
That short drive is threatened to pull away multiple times. ATLiens have answered. ATLiens had a shot to take the lead at 36-35. Unable to. Gore can't get that one. Would have pushed it to 9.
Yeah, that would have been real ugly if he got that one. Luckily, defensively, they got the stop there, and they're responding here with a bucket. That's exactly what ATL needs in this. They need a little bit of push now in this third quarter.
D'Angelo Muto on the bucket. He's been quiet. much of this season after he had a pretty productive year last year for Atlanta. Then Atlanta, now the ATLiens, of course.
And it's just one of those things where, like, you know, going into your second season, right, you have a productive first season. It happens to a lot of players at any sort of level, right? You have a great first season, and second season, now everybody's got their eyes on you because they see what you did last year. And now you got a game plan for this type of person. But you got to continue to still be confident. I'm surprised he didn't take the layup there in that situation. But as I was saying, you got to still continue to be confident in your game, even going through that second and third season. The second and third season, I feel like, is what really makes or breaks the type of career a player has at any sort of level.
Abasai Dance gets 2 to fall. Second leading scorer, I beg your pardon, on this ATLien squad. No player outside of DeMario Duval is averaging more than 10 points per game for the ATLiens. They do have quite a few averaging 5 or more. Driving to the rack is Zay Gore, as he gets that one to fall over top of Dance. And Zay Gore has looked really efficient, as has Jordan in this one. A team that we kind of expected coming into the season, Lakeshore Drive, Norman Nations, and Drake Carvel to be the backbone of it. Instead, as you mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Zay Gore and Jordan have really been the deciding factors on this one.
Those have been the big ones that you want to keep your eye on. You know, you don't want to tune those guys out. I think that could really be the next big 1-2 punch, with Zay Gore being as efficient as he is, dissecting offenses with his passes and being able to score on his own. I'm telling you, he reminds me of Chris Paul, the way he's able to either get to the basket, set up for somebody else, or he has a nice little mid-range shot. And D'Angelo Jordan, I mean, you can't even classify what position he is because he does it all. He's got handles. He's got a nice jumper. He's a 6'9" wing. You can put him at the point. You can put him anywhere. We seen him stop Alpine earlier in this game. It's just what he does. He's all over the floor.
An 8-2 run for ATLiens. Had a chance to tie or take the lead, but a turnover there, and in checks Alpine.
There he goes.
For the last 29.3 here. So Lakeshore Drive can extend the lead to 4 or 5 near the end, but they will get one more possession to the ATLiens to close this thing out, barring a foul or an offensive rebound.
And I say that, wow, the switch was not needed there. Wow. And watching that unfold, I don't understand. The switch was not needed whatsoever. Neither was that pass. I don't know what's going on, but
Lawrence Shield makes up for the poor shot selection from Blaylock. Here's Zay Gore, 3 at the buzzer, off the back rim and out. We head to the fourth. Lakeshore Drive, their lead has been cut to just 2. 46-44, 8 minutes of action left to decide this thing in Illinois.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät und das Gerät. Überlebensradar.
Mayday, Mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you... Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
Welcome back to Illinois, fourth quarter of action on deck. Lakeshore Drive holding on to a 46-44 lead. A great third quarter from the ATLiens. Fell down early in the quarter, worked themselves to within 1, fell back down by 8. But again, they answered. But again, that run, LO, came with D'Angelo Jordan on the bench as Jordan misses his first shot. DeMario Duval can't get the answer, would have tied it. This game has really ebbed and flowed with if or if not D'Angelo Jordan is on the floor for Lakeshore Drive.
All right. Well. For the people who's just tuning in, right? Let's break it down, right? Started off the first quarter, Lakeshore Drive going off to a huge lead. It was 21-9 going into the second, right? Then we had what I basically like to call the switch, right? And everything kind of just flipped. ATL started doing their thing, sticking to that motion offense, getting people open and not settling for good shots, but getting great shots throughout that second quarter. Seeing Richard Alpine absolutely take over. Then in the third, it was more so Jordan, and I did not know Alpine had that in his bag for as large of a man that he is. But you know that's a nice Euro step. Oh my goodness!
I'm going to ask you a hot take, LO. Is D'Angelo Jordan, I know his stats aren't going to say it, but is his ceiling Kevin Durant?
You know,
I mean, that's two mid-ranges, both off the dribble, both over smaller defenders. He's 6'9". He's only 16 years old. Shoots 54% from the floor, 37% from deep as the ball hacks up and misses a three. I know his numbers aren't jumping off the page as such, but at 16, D'Angelo Jordan feels like a guy that could be doing a heck of a lot more.
I feel like, you know, if you were to give him a player comp, Kevin Durant definitely could be in that mix. I know he's definitely not as big as this next person I'm about to mention, but you know, the sheer athleticism and the shot making of like a Duke Paulo Banchero. I remember watching Banchero in those games, and he was able to absolutely dominate on all assets, and that's other than the shot we just seen, ladies and gentlemen. You know, he's been able to, you know, facilitate and be able to be a scorer and a leader from all different positions like that Duke Banchero was. Kevin Durant, it is a great ceiling for him. I do feel like he does fit that mold, but I feel like he's just a little bit more aggressive than a Kevin Durant, so I wouldn't give it to him there. But the mid-range game is there, and I wouldn't say it's a hot take. I would say it's a pretty good take.
You know, again, his stats aren't there. He's not quite as dominant as a veteran, obviously, Kevin Durant, but a bucket there goes for Jamal Harper, and this game is back up to a 6-point lead. So D'Angelo Jordan on the floor for Lakeshore Drive and answers every single run that the ATLiens have come. And if I am head coach Brian Lovelace, he is not leaving the floor for the rest of this game as Duval jacks up and can't get the three to fall.
And that's and two things start to glare on me as we're getting, you know, into the final minutes, fourth quarter of this game. One, the reason why Lakeshore has been able to keep this lead is because of the fact that they've been getting a lot of easy buckets, and most of those come from fast break transition points. You know, those were the main things that they were getting their buckets from in this game. And second, I feel like there's a lot of times where we have people like Duval that have been taking ill-advised shots, ill-advised threes that just aren't within the flow of the options and haven't been helping. Shots like these, they're just not helping cut into the lead. And if this game had to be won or lost, it's going to be on those type of shots.
Working on it is Nations on Duval, up and under, gets it to in and out, can't get it to go. I beg your pardon, halfway down and rolls out.
That's a heartbreaker.
Although the defensive efficiency right now from Lakeshore Drive has been on in full effect. Up and out is Dance off the backboard, gets his own rebound to go, tumbles into the crowd, cuts it down to 4-point game, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Great hustle there to get the second chance bucket opportunity, and he makes him pay.
Good feed there. Quick recognition by D'Angelo Jordan to see the double team coming. Kicks it out to Drake Harvell, who buries the three. And the lead is up to 7 points in the fourth quarter. Jordan continuing to dominate.
And I'm starting to see the KD comparison, you know, the way that he's able to see the floor the way he does. Great move there. Great job to get the offensive rebound again. And this is what I mean by those second chance points. If they can get a little bit more of those down the stretch, then it'll definitely help. But they got to cut into this lead somehow, and it needs to start now.
Timeout, Lakeshore Drive. Again, reminder, stay tuned. 2 more games on the SimWorld TV docket for the night. But both of them will be intermission with the post-up. So make sure you're tuning in for that. Tonight's post-up one and only Yells, joined by the aforementioned plenty of times tonight Maestro, and then the second post-up Yells will get the special guest of Siege. But the second game of our doubleheader will be Bad Boys Basketball, Best Coast Ballerz Bay Pride triple header. Then Rocky Mountain Monsters coming off a big win last night with a massive matchup against Southeast Select. All three of the games today carrying plenty of weight. Bad Boys Basketball, you're talking about Lakeshore Drive trying to make their way up. If they win this thing, they'd move to 10 and 12. Bad Boys, in a very difficult matchup against Best Coast Ballers, a loss would knock them down to 11 and 11. Despite being in 6th place, they are not out of the woods just yet. So plenty at stake tonight. More bragging rights for the top of the conferences between Rocky Mountain and Southeast Select. Southeast Select in a tie with Bay Area Breakers for the #1 spot in the Legend Conference. Rocky Mountain a game and a half back of the Originators.
In this race to 1 battle is definitely one that you do not want to miss at all going down here on SimWorld TV broadcast. So make sure you guys are staying tuned in. As my main man Mark said earlier, all here live on our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything whenever this race to 1 comes on.
Inbound here for Lakeshore Drive. Kick inside. Oh my goodness. Lath Money with 2. The feed from Gore continues to dish and dime his way to an effective night for Lakeshore. It seems like things are coming together just at the right time. 3-minute mark left in the quarter. 7-point advantage for Lakeshore Drive.
And that's a great find and feed. Oh my goodness. The in and out move into the slam there was just absolutely amazing, spectacular. Great ball handling skills. Puts it down to 5. That's a great move there.
And D'Angelo Jordan, another pull-up mid-ranger, falls off the dribble. He has been dynamic tonight, Alan.
He has, and we seen a pop earlier for the player of the game. I would have to give it to him. If they were able to pull out this victory, I do have to give it to him because the way that he's been playing tonight has been absolutely phenomenal. Offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game, he's just had a control over his confidence all over the floor. Shots like that have just been falling for him tonight. That's just how it's been. It's been that type of night for D'Angelo Jordan.
Guarded by DeMario Duval. That's 6, 5-inch, 7-inch, 7-inch. According to the stat sheet, though, D'Angelo Jordan is playing much bigger than 6'9". He has been phenomenal tonight. Second straight night that we have had great forward play in SimWorld hoops. Duval's 3 won't fall. Rebound, who else? Jordan. He's had his fingerprints all over this one.
And he has not been able to get a single thing to fall here throughout the past, I believe, 4 to 5 minutes of this game. He hasn't been able to get a single thing to fall here. He's only had like a couple buckets in crucial moments, which has allowed Lakeshore Drive to extend this lead. He hasn't been able to capitalize at all here.
Duval puts Zay Gore on skates, sliding his way in for the layup, back within 9, but with 1:10 to play, this one might be out of reach. They'll need a perfect close and some help beyond that if they're going to get it. Here's Jordan, spin. Going to work on Rose.
They gonna need LeBron to hop out there. At this point, 57 seconds, they gonna need LeBron to hop out there on that floor if they gonna want to make a come. Especially, that probably
do it. Drake Carvel buries the 3, 66-54. Of course, the opportunity still exists as this one falls for Duval. First one to 69 wins. It's the unproven wrong statement by our friendly colleague Siege. So Lakeshore needing 3 points to prove that one, though. 10-point lead will probably prove it more. Here's Jordan on the edge.
I think we need to start making a list of Siege's unwritten rules here when it comes to SimWorld, and that right
well, barring
there.
A miss here from Lath Money, he's going to be correct yet again. 68-56, a free throw to make it 69, and again we had the conversation. He doesn't want to be Siege Stradamus. He doesn't want to be Siege Aristotle. He's just Siege, and he's made the statement. 69, first team to reach it on the dot. They win every time. 60% of the time it works every time. And a free throw here by Lath Money to prove it correct yet again. Gets it to fall. So that'll do it from a 69 standpoint, just the pursuit of that. Lakeshore Drive coming out with a win. Certainly more reasons than what they've done, but it was D'Angelo Jordan, his fingerprints all over this one. Elo, you mentioned he was your player of the game. I have to agree with you there as Richard Alpine gets the jumper to fall. That's purely cosmetic. A dominant performance from Jordan. Big buckets every single time down. When he was on the floor for LSD, he was a just dominant force on both ends of the floor, whether that be slaughtering Richard Alpine in the paint, who got going when he was not out there. Pull-up mid-rangers, late in shot clocks, early in shot clocks, with a defender in his face, that 6'9 frame. Easily gave him a clear line of sight, and a must-win game goes to LSD. ATLiens now falling back to 500. They'll have to keep an eye on, they fall 2 games below 500 as they fall back into the fray that is the race for the 8th seed in both the Legend and the Legacy Conference. Post up next. Coming back for game 2 of our triple header. As always, see the game, be the game.
Welcome to another edition of the Post Up. We're back, baby. I don't know where that's from, but I do remember it's in my head. Maestro, what's good, man? How you feeling?
It's all you, fam. How you doing tonight? How you doing?
I'm good. Are you feeling dirty today?
Oh, all dirty, baby, all dirty. The inaugural first dirty team came out today, and it felt good looking at all them games and numbers, and man, it was just awesome.
Hey, man, that was good stuff. We got to really find out about the character of some teams and some of the makeups. You know, all these kids out here. Hey, I want to score points. It's just strictly stats. How many minutes? And I want to score all the points. And I got the most rebounds. Well, here's the real one. How are you impacting the totality of the game? I love the dirty, man. That's good stuff there. But speaking of dirty, in this one, Lakeshore Drive, there's a guy in Chicago by the name of Jordan. And no, I ain't talking Michael Jordan. One shy of your dirty list, though. 17 points, 11 boards, 5 assists, no steals, a block, 1 turnover, 8 for 14 from the field, 1 for 2 from deep. This guy's a monster, and I think in the call, someone said that he may have a ceiling as high as Kevin Durant. Now, I know he's not putting up 40 points a game, but maybe it's not required right now. But as far as his skill set, what do you think of this guy?
100%. You know what? I agree with that. It's one thing I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna take it back to Kevin Durant in his college days. All right,
Ooh, that
because
was a
that because
nasty time too.
yeah, exactly. You're talking about a guy who sort of had that game that you love to see him. I heard. Okay, I'm just gonna say. I'm get this out the way. You know what I'm gonna say. A lot of cats would kind of call him soft from back in the day, right? Because he wasn't always elbowing somebody's chest or whatnot, and he was an outside player, perimeter player, but he also did what he needed to do, put Texas in the position that he did, and that's what I saw a lot of tonight with D'Angelo, him doing everything he needed to do. More importantly, when he needed to do it, to always make sure that his team came up on top in every possession.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast, man. I think one of the things, as SimWorld Hoops begins to grow and blow up, let's just go ahead and say it, blow up. We're becoming the thing that we're supposed to be, right? People are learning about this league, but at the prep level, man, a lot of these kids, I talk to Rick about it very often, honestly. Tim Duncan. I didn't know who the hell he was in high school, and I don't think most people did outside of his city.
No.
And then he went to college, and we're like, oh, he's just a big oak tree in the middle, right? He's just a big 7-foot oak tree. And then once he got to the pros, you're like, oh, he can, not that he was playing a perimeter game, but, oh, he can put the ball on the floor. He can do this. He can do that. Kids' games evolve, and it's an adult, a coach, a scout's job to see what they can actually be. But at this level, they're pretty raw, and you're looking for particular skills. So we talked about D'Angelo Jordan. We saw some stuff from Late the Money. We saw DeMario Duval, Richard Alpine kind of get it in. What are your thoughts on DeMario Duval and Richard Alpine on the losing side?
You know what? I'll tell you something about those guys' games, all right? It's beyond solid, all right? They're the kind of players you look for, and what's missing is the one part that allows us not to be able to measure the one part of the game that we really want to see, and that is I don't see a cohesive team or strategy structure around them so we can really see them flourish. Because if they're flourishing now in this particular position with what they're doing, imagine if they had a system or they were within a system that benefited from everything they brought to the game. I think they definitely have the skill set.
College, huh?
Yeah, right. You got it. And it's funny that you would talk about Tim Duncan, right? What I remember about him in Wake Forest, his ability to pass and his floor vision to know where his teammates were at every single point. And I remember watching that going, I don't care what this guy did before he got here. He's going to be something special at the next level. And sure enough, he was, because he had that great ability to pass. And that was something that Popovich took advantage of and added the other stuff to his game as he got into the big leagues.
And it was out of nothing more than a deep post or a high post, just him making the correct read. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you totally. And I'm not a huge Tim Duncan fan, but skill is skill and ball don't lie, right?
No, 100%, fam. 100%.
Ball don't lie. All right, so ATL falls to LSD. Not sure if that is a breaking news for anyone out there, but we had some other games that ended here. We saw the North taking on Asia Pacific, man, out up in Sandy Shore Complex, just right around the corner from Drake's house, 6666666. In North York, if y'all know about that. Yeah, the North having some problems. It looks like they were going to turn the corner, but yet again they fall. But they put up a fight against Asia Pacific. Asia Pacific starting to come on pretty strong here. Asia Pacific started the year off with an upset over Showtime. They have some other big wins under their belt. Did this game say more about the North, or did this game say more about SimWorld Asia Pacific for you?
Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. It says more about the North to me. And you know why I keep banging this drum and banging this drum. I done broke the head and broke my mallet. Look, here's the deal. You got a team right now basically working on nothing but internal guidance systems, okay? No help. And that's completely unfair. they're not going to be able to get the development that they need to get, the help they need to get better. But yet and still, those kids, and I'm calling them kids, and I don't mean that in a negative way, so please don't take it that way. But those kids are going out there every single night, man, and they are laying it out with all that they have, with all the knowledge that they're working with. And oh, by the way, even when they lose, they're in the game for a good part of it, only until just a little bit. And we saw that tonight against Asia Pacific, right? You know, Asia Pacific, they've been coming on strong. We've been talking about that over and over again. Like, don't sleep on them, don't sleep on them. Because I remember back in the first of the season, everybody kept saying, there's one team I don't want to mess with, and that's APOC. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And next thing you know, here they come, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit. And now look at they're kind of rounding into the form that you want to see. And once again, we look at like the North coming against them tonight with doing everything on their own. They even had two guys busting up double digits in points tonight, and one guy with the double digits in rebounds. They're trying to spread the ball around. They're obviously playing the best brand of defense they can play, only from court vision. Marcus Lafayette is being that leader that you want to see happen, because he's deferring to everyone else and letting everybody else have their space and time. But it's just not enough. You can't do it by yourself. They definitely need help. So I'm going to say this once again. This score tonight was more about the North and what they're bringing to the table every night than it was about APAC.
All right, fair enough. They lost, though. Look, hey, beast of the East. BC's, I'm not even going to dwell on it. I'm just out here just talking. I'm just out here stirring the pot up a little bit, man. I got it under my own. I'm whipping the yeah. All right, look, man. We got Beast of the East hosting SimWorld Africa at the art gallery. Man, I love that facility. It's so classy.
I know.
So classy out there in the VA. But you know what was not classy? The 17-point beatdown that BC's put on SimWorld Africa. Fareed Redmond put up a mere 13. Levin Cutler put up a mere 12. Everybody kind of getting it done by committee with this team. And that's, sometimes people say that's where a player, because they're only looking at stats, where these guys' ranking takes a hit. But how about this Beast of the East team and Levin Cutler and Fareed Redmond? Are they the real deal, and are they something that people should be worried about in the race to win?
Oh, 100%. You got to be, and especially when you're talking about like another player like Kasim Porter, who come in there with a quiet 10 points. And I'm saying a quiet 10 points because, he just kind of snuck in the back door on a lot of people. Exactly right. So and Kudizo, another player coming in, bringing in another 12 points. I mean, this is, the Beasts of these are balanced. We said that about them all year. That's one part of their identity that they have never lost. And I don't even think they know how to play unbalanced, because everybody plays so unselfishly, where you see assists. I mean, it's rare to see a team that will have only one or two players without an assist, right? Usually it's like 3 or 4 players with all the assists, but with Beasts of the East, like tonight, there's only 4 players that didn't get assists. Everyone else got at least one assist. What does that tell you? They move the ball well off each other. Strong, man. Strong team indeed.
Kasim Porter is going to be a monster. Not putting up huge numbers right now, but he's going to be a monster. And I'm going to help you out. I don't think it's Kudizo. No circle, dot going on here. I don't know if you guys think it's Cuddy's show, but if he ever wants to come on the post up, he can clear that up for us. That's on you. This is an open invitation to anyone who would like to join us in between games, provided you have your parents' permission and the consent slip signed. We don't want anybody upset about what may be said. You feel me? All right, man. So we got another big game coming up, though. We have Bad Boys Basketball hosting not just the West Coast, but the best coast. They bringing those guys in. Lorenzo Phenom does his thing. He gets a lot of flack back and forth. Is he really that guy? Is he not that guy? He's timid. He's got skills, but he's too passive. And on the other side, you got another guy who may or may not have some things to prove. He, frankly, LDO. People have mixed emotions on him. What are the 3 things you're looking for in this game?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say for the Bad Boys, they're going to need to find a way to take advantage of their rebounds, okay? Because in every other when you look at a team that has 4 players listed in the top 85 for the league, and the other team only has 1 player listed ranked at all. I know rankings kind of don't matter at some point, but you would think that the records would be.
You know, I was going to say it.
You know, yeah, I got you. I got you. You would think that the records would be opposite. So what does that tell me? That tells me that Bad Boys have these great players that aren't playing together. Best Coast has a player who is able to lead his team, and however he does it, right? He always has something, that chip on the shoulder. He has that game. It works for him. Bad Boys need to find a way to make something work for them. They need to find a way to score more than their 72 points per game that has them 8th in the league, but they also give up way too many points. They're going to have to find a way to also make their rebounds pay off for them, and to find a way to keep Best Coast off the boards, because they're going to need more than 4 offensive rebounds a game, or 4.5 offensive rebounds a game to make a difference tonight. Because if they let Best Coast get in the open floor and LDO starts doing what LDO does, making his own plays for himself, moving his teammates around, Bad Boys are going to be looking up all night at the bottom end of the Best Coast.
I guess that's 3 keys then. You just tell them, hey.
Yes, sir.
Just hey, I think we have a couple under our belt. I think your 3 keys pretty much summed up to, hey, don't get your ass whooped. All right, before the FCC comes calling. All right, man. Before we get out of here, our last little topic here, man. What I wanted to ask you, here's a good one. Seeing that this game will be hosted in Detroit, in Michigan, I thought it was a very good time to ask this question. No pun intended, no ill will, just thought the timing was well. What city would you never want to return to?
Okay. I'm getting this out the way first. It's not Detroit. I love me some Detroit. The only thing that they did wrong in Detroit was get rid of Old Tiger Stadium. I'm going to get that out the way. So that's out the way. That's gone.
Okay.
A city I would not want to go back to. You cut me deep with this one because I'm going to have to say it. All right. If I ever see Baltimore again, that is a good day in my life. I don't want to see that place again.
I want to ask why, but we gotta get back to the next game. Can you tell this story extremely quickly? We need to know.
Absolutely. I got 3 events happening less than 7 seconds. One, I started a tour there that I could not get off of because that artist refused to hire anybody else, and it was one of the worst tours I've ever was on in my life. 2, I got seasick there twice, not once, but twice at 2 different places in the same doggone thing. Crabs are for losers. And 3, I just don't like the way it transitions from downtown to the good part of town. I feel like I'm in like an industrial center and everybody smells like milk. Anyway, there you go.
Milk? Okay. Yeah, you're going too far. Well, hey, you said you don't like the transition from good city to bad city, right? Where it gets a little rough. That's a perfect segue for me. Most of my stories always start with, I had a friend, right? So I had a friend in this particular city, and he's like, hey, man, come hang out for about a week. It's good action down here. Whatever. Up here, whatever you want to say. I hang out with him. We're on one side of town. And, hey, man, we're having a great time on this side of town. As that time ends and we're getting ready to head back to his spot, which I had never been to, we're getting ready to head back to his spot to get ready for the night's events in the other part of town. We cross this bridge. And when we cross this bridge, instantly, as we're on the other side of this bridge, as often as you see a cloud in the sky is how often I saw an alley. And how often I saw an alley is how often I saw a vicious crime going on right in front of my face in East St. Louis. I will never go back ever in my life. Ever.
Wait. Yeah, this is sad. I knew that's what you were talking about.
Everyone knows the bridge. That's all
as soon as you said bridge and then said alleys, I said, oh, he's talking about East St. Louis. Yeah, I knew it.
Never again. And it's only because I would like to be able to go other places, and I don't know if I will make it out. You feel me? So look,
I feel you.
We're gonna get out of here right now, though. That's been another episode of the Post Up. We appreciate you guys tuning in, as Maestro always did as he handed over the reins. Make sure y'all stay tuned for our second Post Up coming up. I got my man Siege coming in. Make sure y'all are watching the podcast. We got Talk Dirty to Me with my man Maestro here, getting real dirty, letting y'all know about more than just the scoring aspect of the game. He's getting into the nitty gritty. Shout out to Marsh and the Marsh Pod. He's going to be on this next call. It is being shortened from the Marsh Podcast to the Marsh Pod. Shout out to Around the Table with Elava and Big Bob. And then, of course, if you need a blazing take, you know who to go to. You can get at my man Rick. And then coming soon, SimWorld Today. You've heard of Sports Center. We got one coming your way, so watch out for the dynamic duo here on SimWorld Today. We got more things coming y'all's way, but right now we have Best Coast Ballers at Bad Boys Basketball. BBB against BCB, best against bad, coming your way in just a few moments. Keep it locked.
See the game, be the game.
Good afternoon and welcome to the second game of our Sim World Hoops doubleheader. Bad Boys Basketball, Best Coast Ballers squaring off here in what figures to be one of the more competitive games of the evening. I'm Marsh, joined in the booth by Rick, Ice Cold Takes Blaze. How are we doing, Rick?
That's how we're going to start it off, Marsh?
I mean, I think that's how I always start it off. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think there's always it's always ice cold something. Just who puts Blaze as their last name, I guess, is basically the question. So that's where we start.
Who goes with Marsh? Is that short for Marshmallow? Is your name Marshmallow?
Who would name their child Marshmallow?
I don't know. Someone whose nickname is Marsh. Anyway, we got a game on deck. We got Lorenzo Phenom and Bad Boys Basketball against Best Coast Ballers and my man who's been on a heater as of late, which is none other than who, Marsh?
Darius Outlaw. Darius Outlaw has been phenomenal. Reigning Player of the Week. Became the first player to win Player of the Week despite losing one of the games in which he played. But Best Coast Ballers did have the loss to Originators, where they just came up short to DJ Wagner late in that game. Because, and Rick, the big question and the big concern that I have personally for Best Coast is the lack of depth behind Darius Outlaw. He's phenomenal, but he's the only player on the team averaging more than 10 points per game.
Yes, this is a situation they kind of put themselves in because they lost a player earlier, right, this season. That wasn't their issue coming into the season, but they've had to adjust. And, you know, one thing about it, the flaws are being really volume gets turned up on those flaws from race to one time. That is a concern for Best Coast Ballers.
For Bad Boys, meanwhile, it's all revolving around Lorenzo Phenom, who after a will he, won't he stay summer, he decides to come back, and he's had a great season. 16.8 points, 7 rebounds, 3.4 assists, one of the more underrated passers is the two-handed slam from Lene Newman. Gives Best Coast Ballers the 4-2 advantage. Next to Phenom, though, you've got a little bit more activity. You've got Bo Pagnotti Jr., Samuel Ballerz. Ballerz, 5.6 assists, one of the best assist men in the league, as that three won't fall there for Bad Boys Basketball.
Yeah, Ballerz is a really, man, that's the second time Lene is pulling up again. I'm not. That's one of the issues that Bad Boys have is rebounding. I love Chamberlain as a rebounder. I think Phenom is underwhelming as a rebounder for a guy his size. He has more of a finesse game. But yeah, they're gonna need to get on these boards. They want to get this win tonight.
Phenom 6'10", but just 205 pounds. Not quite as strong as you look at Lene Newman, 6'8", 220, as the mid-ranger for Mullins won't fall.
And I think I'm projecting here that I think that Phenom probably becomes more of an outside guy as his career goes along. I just don't think he likes contact. Even when he's in the paint, he's shooting fadeaway jumpers. So for someone who he thought was going to be an inside player, I think he may end up projecting to be more like a Keith Van Horn type over the course of his career, more of an outside player.
Step through shot there for Darius Outlaw, gets that to go over top of Ballerz. Phenom just made three-pointers on the season, but 52% because of, as you mentioned, that lack of aggression trying to get inside. Double team comes for him. Open in the corner. Three won't fall from Ballerz. Rebound heads the opposite direction. Best Coast Ballers, as I said, trying to rebound from that loss over the Originators. They led that game in the third quarter by as many as 10. But late in that one, it was just DJ Wagner taking over and the supporting staff around Outlaw unable to get it going. Outlaw still finished with 27 points in that one, but a rather inefficient scoring game.
And I think
for the three.
Good three. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Best Coast on a 2-game losing streak. I think that's the second game. They're actually not in first place anymore in the Pacific Rim. They're actually dropped in the race to one. They've been in first place for so long. We just thought they were going to end there. Bay Area has taken over first place. They're now in second, tied with Showtime for the second best record. And I think they have the tiebreaker over Showtime. So I think that's why they're ahead of Showtime in the standings right now. So they're kind of sliding. They're looking to this Bad Boy game to be a get well game for them.
Yeah, they've lost 3 of their last 4, and 3 of their last 5, and 2 of their last 3. They have slid recently, and a 3 there. That from Ballerz gives the 3-point advantage to Bad Boys basketball. For Best Coast, it hasn't been the easiest of schedules, as a contested layup won't fall there. They lost to to Originators. They lost to Reigning Trays. They also lost to H-Town Hoopers. And before that, they were beating some decent teams. They had beaten South America and Middle East. So playing some more talented teams most recently for Best Coast, and they haven't quite risen to the occasion.
Hey, it's getting down to that time. Some people's schedules were a little bit light in the front part, and now it's getting heavy in the back end. And some people it was the opposite. So I think Best Coast are now starting to send more competition, and these schedules and these standings are going to start evening out over the last month of the season.
Another 3 there for Bad Boys. This lead is up to 7. Kick out.
They're going threes crazy
right now. Fall right there. That's Dre Ryder for triple, his 13th of the season. Good 3-point shooter Ryder is, 42% on the season, but not an efficient field goal shooter, 37% from the floor.
Yeah, one of those weird stats where he shoots better from a 3 than he does from 2, right?
I mean, that's a lot of if a guy just doesn't take a lot of layups, and when he does take them, he's just hyper inefficient on them. As a block there.
You probably shouldn't take layups then. Don't go chasing waterfalls, Morse. Stick to the layups and the jumpers that you're used to.
Look at you. I didn't think we were going to get a TLC quote in this one.
Oh, you know who TLC is? Wow, I didn't know, Morse, you knew.
Why wouldn't I?
I have no idea.
TLC's a good one.
I'm an R&B type guy.
You throw on TLC when you're cruising the Vermont mountains looking at foliage, buddy.
There you go. My kind of guy. Woo! Foliage
slam. Lene Newman getting rolling. That's his 3rd slam of the game, and just like that, Best Coast rallying back. Timeout, Bad Boys. We're stepping aside. 1:37 to play in the first quarter. Bad Boys on top by 2.
Lene foliage those planters in his face.
Welcome back. Bad Boys basketball on top by 2. you're watching this on YouTube, we invite you to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Never miss any moment of SimWorld Hoops action. So make sure you're following along. Final third of the season underway. All of these games now must win for any team in that race to one, unless you're one of the teams sitting atop the standings. Make sure you're staying up to date, locked in for SimWorld Hoops action here on YouTube. First quarter nearly in the books. Has been a really great first quarter for Best Coast Ballers Lene Newman. 5 of 7, 10 points. A lot of that work, Rick, being done inside the paint. A couple offensive rebounds, but almost all of those 5 buckets have been dunks.
Yeah, man, he's the Windex man right now. He's hitting the glass. Really nice for Best Coast Ballers. Second chance points, and he knows how to throw it down.
As we come out of this timeout, what are you looking for in the final minute and a half of this one?
Well, if you're Best Coast, you got to run Bad Boys off that 3. They're making a living. Weaver himself has 9 points off of 3 threes. Run them off the 3 and see if they can beat you with the 2 game, because 3 ball is falling tonight for them.
Here's Ballerz. Kicks that over. Deep 3 will go. James Jones Jr. His first
Did I say
bucket
run them
off
off the 3? I just said run them off the 3.
They didn't get the memo.
Yeah,
Trying to answer on the other end. They do. Big triple there. Landing Colton. No scrub from Deep himself. 22-20.
I like it, Mark. You took mine.
Well, tip for tat, my friend. Final minute of the first quarter. Going into the isolation is Bo Pagnotti Jr. Haven't heard much of him. Trying to get this one over LDO. He does.
He reached through his bag and got that one out.
LDO relatively quiet. Just 2 buckets here in the first quarter. Evangelist Mullins can't get the contested layup to fall. Rebound heads the other way. 2-for-1 opportunity comes and goes for Bad Boys. Best Coast should end up with the final shot. We'll see if they end up deciding to take advantage of it. Spins around to Pagnotti. Into the corner to Ballerz. Ballerz, the midi. In and out.
The final shot here.
They will try for the alley-oop. That one's snatched out of the air. Heads the opposite direction. James Jones Jr. Triple J for that one. Deep 2. At the buzzer won't fall. That ends the first. Bad Boys basketball in a high-scoring first quarter on top, 24-20. At least Darius Outlaw, Best Coast Ballers, some work to do in the second quarter on deck. Back, second quarter of action. Best Coast Ballers down by 4. A quiet first quarter from Lace Darius Outlaw, one of the leading scorers in SimWorld Hoops. Rick, is this something that you think is more of a Bad Boys basketball strategic approach that's getting him to that, or just he hasn't been aggressive?
No, I just think it's within the flow of the game. One thing about Lace Darius, unlike a lot of players in the league, typically he lets the game come to him and gets his points to the flow of the game. Oh, dunked you very much. And so I just think it's been the flow of the game. As the game goes on, he's going to get more attempts. They're going to get more shots, so I'm not worried about that.
James Jones Jr. now has 5 points, and we've been privy to some great forward play over these last couple games as that turnover off and the second chance point does not fall for Wright Johnson. But James Jones Jr., 6'8", 217, though he's made 13 three-pointers on somewhat limited activity, just averages 2.5 points per game. But it seems as if the forward wing position in similar groups has really enjoyed a renaissance season this year with guys, James Jones Jr. not lighting it up, but we saw D'Angelo Jordan in the last game. Lucas Banks had a phenomenal game last night for Rocky Mountain. Do you subscribe to that the forward position, maybe previously overlooked by good guards and good bigs, is kind of rising to the occasion this season?
Yeah, I think it's like any other league, it's a copycat league. When you start seeing the wing guys going out there making it happen, then teams look at their wing guys and say, hey, do we got a guy that we can go out there and make it happen? So first it was all about the bigs. Then the guards kind of took over. Now the wings are kind of having their moment. I dig it. Everybody get a chance to shine.
Slow start offensively, just one basket in the first minute and a half here of the second quarter. Lace Darius Outlaw trying to change that, gets Best Coast Ballerz on the board. His third bucket of the game, LDO, who has been on a torrid pace, averaging more than 30 points per game last week, but not so aggressive so far, and the second chance point for Bad Boys falls, lead back to 6 at the 6-minute mark.
LDO get some ISO work going. Let's see what he can do.
Fade
turn.
Can't get that one to fall. Tough for a quiet night continues here early in the second quarter. Looks like a zone defense leaves Pagnotti open for three, makes him pay.
He is Pagnotti says, I just creep and I'm gonna keep it on the down low. Nobody has to know.
I get where you're going there. I don't know if that one fit as well. I'm just gonna come out.
It's not true, but it's not your talking. That's me talking. That's the problem.
I don't think it matters who is talking. You just drop the line just to drop a line. You have to make it.
I'm a line dropper and you're a hater. I'm a line dropper and you're a hater.
No, I don't think that's it.
You know what Martian hater has in common? They both have the same amount of letters. Time out on the court.
Well, he can count and he can read, folks. This is great timeout indeed. 5:04 to play in the second quarter. Bad Boys basketball rolling. At this point, would invite you, if you want to join into this action, whether that's on the floor as a coach, as a player, or if you'd like to join the journalistic ranks. We have such a deep treasure trove of journalists, with the spear of that, or the tip of that spear being Rick Blaze. Feel free to join us, discord.gg/SingleNBA. You can apply to be a head coach. You can apply to be a player. We're always taking applications for members of the media team, the commentary team, and every other part of this finalization. So if you'd like to get in on the fun, please do not forget to join us. And of course, join the Discord as well.
One quick correction, Marsh.
Yeah,
I'm not a media member. I'm not a media journalist. I'm a national treasure, sir. Now continue.
National treasure might be a bit of a stretch, but you are technically a media member. You do have a daily podcast. That's media. You are on this broadcast. That's media. So you might not want to be a media member, but you most certainly are a media member.
It doesn't matter what you say, Marsh. Timeout coming out from the court. We're ready. It's Bad Boys basketball.
Why don't you ISO this one? Let's hear some play-by-play.
Let's do it. Chamberlain with the ball up top. I can do it all. He passes to the Willa Bob and Weave here. Jump shot. It's good. Good shot. Takes out by West Coast Baller, who is now down 33-24. Looking to cut into this deficit right now.
Well, Rick, you sound like you're reading an NPR hit.
Say what?
I said you sound like you're reading an NPR hit.
I'm doing my best Martian impersonation. Now you know how we feel. Now you know how we feel, brother. The three is good.
Yeah, okay.
You want me to continue being you, or you want to do yourself now?
No, I think I can do myself. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Missed there from
Good on you.
Midway through the second quarter. This goes Ballerz without a big night from Lace Darius Outlaw. Atypical of Outlaw, but The second stringers trying to get it rolling. There is two from Jesse Wright Johnson. Excuse me, Jaziel Wright Johnson. Just 10 games on the season. Mid-season pickup for Best Coast out of Long Beach, California. Phenom again going to work inside. Go ahead.
Oh my God! If his name is Jaziel, I wonder if his sister's name is Jezebel.
You think mom and dad just didn't have any creativity?
I mean, I guess that's creative, depends on who you ask.
Shot clock violation, can't get the three to go as Pagnotti. Rick, you got any brothers or sisters?
I have a sister, yes.
Are you of the family that starts the name, or that has every child name with the same first letter?
No, I'm not.
Well, I wondered where you were, if you had an opinion of that, considering you were trying to predict Jaziel's sister's name.
I was just making an observation, Marsh. It's not that
You
deep.
might have had something under the covers there.
No, only you have other things under the covers.
I'm not sure that makes sense. 33-31, Best Coast Ballerz have rallied back, but a foul called here on Dre Ryder sends Phenom to the line. He's been a little more aggressive in the second quarter after just a 4-point first quarter. No rebounds in that opening frame for Phenom.
Yeah, his face looks finesse. He has a finesse face.
What is a finesse face?
There's no intensity in his play. I never see him, really aggressive. His face doesn't look like he's want to be aggressive. Like it's always looking like it's a, RBI face.
I mean, you have to take a free throw. It's not the most intensive moments.
I said always, Marsh. You're just looking at his face now at the free throw line.
So you're just spying on him all day?
Well, I do scout players, so you have to see their faces when you scout them.
Just digging on Zoe, is that what you are?
35-33.
Steve, that is a good reference, Rick. That's in the flow of it, makes sense. Miss there from deep, rebound hits the other way. And see, it might have even gone over your head, that TLC reference. Three-pointer falls, and Best Coast Ballerz back on top. 2.5 to play. Nate Garcia gets it inside. That's Lorenzo Phenom. Back out to Garcia. Three rattles home, and they answer on the other end. Bad Boys basketball has seen their lead diminish despite no Lace Darius Outlaw. The second string group for the Best Coast Ballerz has been rolling, getting back into this, thanks to a couple threes on the other side down by Landon Colton. There's another deep ball. That's just going to be ruled a deep 2. That ties this thing back up at 38 apiece.
Nice
Inside Phenom, they continue to bring the double team. That leaves Garcia wide open. 3 won't fall.
I don't know. I think I would play Phenom one-on-one at this point. Bad Boys has been making a living at the three-point line tonight. So I think I'll take my chance on Phenom one-on-one as opposed to doubling. That's just me.
Phenom doesn't have quite the repertoire of big man moves that we've seen in many cases. As Garcia pulls up for 3, which won't fall. Mullins on the board. There's Newman. Good first quarter. Good dime inside. Gets it to go. Dre Ryder for 2.
If the front door isn't open, you got to go through the back.
We're leaving that one be. Phenom double team comes. Again, Garcia carrying this team from deep.
He's hit 3 from that spot just tonight. Bad Boys was making a living off the three-pointer from that right wing of the court.
Garcia, Aiden Weaver, the team leader. Weaver is with 38. They have each gotten going from deep. This is a foul called on Malcolm Chamberlain. Bad Boys has 4 players that have made at least 25 threes. Nathaniel Garcia entered with 25 on the season. As he said, he's got a couple tonight. Aiden Weaver, team leader, he had 3 in the first quarter. Samuel Bogus and Bo Pagnotti Jr. So quite the quad. What would that be? Quad. I don't know that one. What's the term for like 4 of a kind, not for the twins? Not triplets.
What are you talking about?
If you have 4 of a kind.
It's quads. It's quads, Murph. I got you.
If you have 4 kids, it's just called quads. I don't think that's true.
But if you, I know if you're playing, if you're playing, hey, if you're playing poker like I play poker, we call it corporate currency, called quads.
We're not talking poker there. Place Darius L on the floor. He goes to the sky.
Oh my God!
This is a new wrinkle to Outlaws game. Quadruplets is what we've been told. Here's a three. Deep for Ballerz, and that will do at halftime. Best Coast Ballers rally back after being down by nearly double figures early in the quarter. Lead by 4. A lot of that done by the supporting cast behind Outlaw as they are trying to snap their 2-game losing streak. Rick, as we head to the break, what stood out to you in those first 16 minutes?
One thing I noticed, Lakes Darius LDO hooked his team up on his wagon and in the second quarter and got them out to a 4-point lead. Bad Boys is on fire from the 3-point line. I think if LDO and company can stop them from running them off the 3-point line a little bit, they can stretch this lead out. But Bad Boy keeps getting these threes. It's going to be a very, very tight game for the second half.
Big night, first quarter at least, from Lene Newman. That helped carry the load as you can take a look at one of his highlight dunks. But on the other end, Bo Pagnani Jr., Samuel Bogus, Aiden Weaver, and Garcia burying from deep. Bad Boys trailing by 4 at home. Break. We're back, third quarter of action. Bad Boys basketball led early in that second quarter, but it's Best Coast Ballers up by 4. A great second quarter from Darius Outlaw. 12 points at the half, leading Best Coast as Lorenzo Phenom gets the putback to go. That's his first rebound, of the game for this starting big man.
So sad.
Here's LDO. Kicks it out for 3, won't fall. Rebound for Newman. He's been on the glass aggressively for Best Coast. and gets called there for a offensive 3-second violation.
That's a quick whistle, man. That's some home cooking right there. That whistle was awfully quick.
He was in there pretty early on in that possession. And I don't think he ever technically left it when he got the ball.
But the possession. Oh, there you go. Put your hands in like your mama taught you.
Phenom for 2. Aggressive now. Rick, you were talking about him not being a great rebounder. He's got 2 here on the offensive glass to start the third.
You supposed to be proud of that?
I'm just making observations, Rick. I'm not making statements.
He should never shoot that ball again.
Evangelos Mullins, no 3-pointers made on the season. That does not change with that attempt. Working his Ballerz on Outlaw, gets it to go.
Hey, my man made it on 2 players. What about your friends?
Well done. See, that was a well-placed one, Rick. I will give you credit. Outlaw, though, can't get it to answer.
Marsh, I don't need your amens. I got this.
And, I think we needed a little support after you were just calling lines out to begin with.
No, now with the guy whose name same letters as Hater.
But I can make you feel I'm pretty too, okay?
Marsh got the Google on fire right now.
My fingers are typing over here, my brother. Here comes Outlaw to the paint. Can't get that one to fall. Up inside, offensive board again. That's a third of the quarter, but turned aside. Lene Newman with the block. Inside goes to Mullins. Feed from Outlaw, and we're tied back up.
Good game.
Astute observation. 5:23. Lorenzo Phenom has been more aggressive in this third quarter. He wants the fadeaway. Can't get it to go.
That's his shot. That's his stuff he loves. That broke fadeaway.
Inside to Mullins. Mullins is going to step out of bounds, and it was Dre Ryder on the defense on that last possession. And to be honest, if Lorenzo Phenom progresses himself to just being a power forward, having that fade in his back pocket really isn't a bad thing. And I understand where your complaint is you're 6'10", you should be backing down guys that are smaller than you. But if he can figure out how to be, a more finesse forward, the ceiling is high as Chamberlain gets 2 to go.
Yeah, but the problem with Phenom is he has that fade in his back pocket, his front pocket, his side pocket, in his socks, in his fanny pack. He takes it everywhere he goes. And it's not that good.
Well, see, I was going to say, typically when somebody says they have it in their back pocket, it's more of a notion of positivity, but not so much in this case.
Yeah.
Ballerz up inside to Chamberlain, 2 more. Back-to-back buckets from Chamberlain. He's got their last 4, and Bad Boys are up by 4.
LDL trying to go one-on-one. Get that down, son. Hit it, Pat.
That's a big answer there. Huber for 3 and cuts into that lead, 52-51 here at the midway point of the third quarter. There was a lot of support staff in the first half. Best Coast Ballerz not really relying on Lace Darius Outlaw. They'll need to keep that rolling as Bo Pagnotti Jr. gets it to go against LDL.
That's a really nice shot.
Outlaw, the behind the back step back is clean.
Marsh, we call that a red light special.
I'm gonna ask that question.
So you don't even know this is TLC song reference. So you didn't even know when it hits you in the face, Marsh. Get that out of here, boy.
I never claimed, as we get a foul called here on Hoover, I never claimed to be some TLC fanatic. I just knew who they were. You mentioned maybe their greatest song, known to, well, maybe probably second most famous song. It's not going to go over everyone's head.
Shooting 2.
Let's see if Bo can knock these 2 down. Does Bo knows free throws? Yes, he does.
It's the first. 55-53, checking in Bucker Williams. checking out Buckner Williams. Red Johnson checking in. Sky Buckner Williams, 5 points per game on the season. Second free throw up here for Pagnotti Jr. Gets that to go as he's had an efficient season this year. 27 made three-pointers, 39.7% from beyond the arc. 12 points per game. He's had a positive follow-up season to what was a pretty good one last year, but LDO into the paint and the silky smooth lay-in.
I don't know why they think Bo can stick with him defensively one-on-one. He's going to undress him every time. Can I get a witness?
Although LDO hasn't necessarily stopped Pagnotti as he skies in for two. Pagnotti Jr. going toe-to-toe right now with Outlaw. And then no defense, but somehow a miss there inside. Rather soft defense inside by Camden Gilroy. Pagnotti trying to go to work with a spin. That one's tipped away, though, to Ballerz.
Get a shot up.
Three-pointer from Pagnotti won't fall. Approaching to the plate. Evangelos Mullins rising and firing. One-handed slam. They have, between Mullins and Newman, Best Coast has two of the more prolific dunkers in SimWorld hoops. As turnover there from Pagnotti. Outlaw leading the break. He wants to pull up. Can't get it to go. Defensive board heads the opposite direction.
Speaking of dunks, anybody on this court, on this team, besides Mullins, you think should be in a dunk contest for the SimWorld Prep?
Lene Newman can put up some highlights. It's a nice little sky or baby hook there from Gilroy over top of Outlaw. Newman's not an unathletic rim runner.
True. But I see him more as he does. I see him more as a pound cake dunker though. He's a pound cake dunker. It's not nothing fancy, nothing. It's just a good old pound cake. It gets the job done.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And certainly not
Oh, he got that boy.
Wow. Can't get the go, and we get a foul here on Mullins. Owen Pride heading to the line, gets the offensive board on the putback as Best Coast has really struggled to prevent second chance opportunities in this third quarter.
And a line shooting one more. Owen
Pride comes off the bench for Bad Boys, averaging just 1.3 points per game, can triple his season average with this one, and he does. 107 to play, up 6 now is Bad Boys. They have weathered the storm of the Best Coast comeback in the second quarter to retake the lead here in the third. Here comes Outlaw to the rack and the soft lay-in.
Yo, that is wild, son. They're letting they're Big Noddy's Posse's on Broadway right now. They is rolling him
August.
up.
Let's not blame Pagnotti for that.
I'm sorry.
August has really been the defensive focal point, or the defensive attack, I guess, for Lace Jerry's.
That's right, this is Buck. Yeah, he's getting undressed too.
Double team comes. Triple won't fall, but we're going to get a loose ball foul here on Ajavon. It's going to be on the fouled Phenom. I don't believe that's going to be free throws just yet. Not in the bonus, just the first under 2 minutes. So no free throws. Here's Bogus bringing it up, guarded by Outlaw inside to Phenom. Phenom trying to drive his way in on Newman. Can't get it to go. Offensive board, though, keeps the possession alive.
Best Coast need to get a stop here, but they want to get back in this game.
Phenom trying to go to work again. Lining up, a little skyhook won't go, or not really a skyhook, a layup. Newman the board.
That was a Lord have mercy shot.
2 seconds to shoot. They'll have to put one up. They get it to go at the buzzer. Austin Ajavon, well, just ahead of it, 65-61. Bad Boys basketball on top as we head to the fourth quarter here in Detroit. Bad Boys clinging to a 4-point edge. Lace Darius Outlaw trying to get rolling on the other side.
Hook him up, Lace Darius.
Still waiting for
for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
SimWorld presents Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
What's up, everybody? This is Big Bob.
And this is Elava.
And we are the co-hosts of Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
Around the Table is the SimWorld Hoops podcast where Big Bob and I give our takes on various sports around the world.
Make sure to tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time to hear our takes.
And don't forget to join in on the conversation with us on Discord at discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
And make sure to follow us on Twitter and YouTube at SimWorld4K. And as always,
see the game, be the game. Later, folks.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter underway. Bad Boys basketball, 4-point advantage over Best Coast Ballers. No team has really been able to get out and run away with this game.
Man, Ballerz got 8 dimes. He's sharing the sugar right now. Oh, good pass.
Inside from Outlaw. Finds Hugo Fields. That's his first bucket of the afternoon. Outlaw. Garden Ballerz kicks it over. Driving inside. Foul called here on Lene Newman. That will send Aiden Weaver to the line. We haven't heard much of Aiden Weaver. He had 9 points in that first quarter. Just 3 points, or excuse me, 2 points since then. He hasn't nearly been as aggressive of a shooter as he was to open this thing up.
Shooting 2.
Yeah, they're going to need all hands on deck to close this game out. Best Coast is going ISO at the top with LDO, and no one in the Bad Boys uniform can come close to guarding LDO right now. Unless Bad Boys change up their defensive strategy, they're going to keep scoring because that ISO is going to win every single time.
What Best Coast has done well, they've cleared the floor and just let LDO attack Ballerz, and he's done it every single time.
And you know, you would think a teammate that is 6'10" would come up on the weak side and help that, but no, he doesn't.
There we go again, clear floored. Screen though, comes briefly from Newman, and into the paint goes LDO.
I'm telling you, he got the keys there and he's driving. Like a 16-year-old with the parents asleep.
Big basket. Cuts it down to 2, needing stops. It's going to be Lorenzo Phenom, though, as he has come alive in this second half.
That's a good shot.
Back up to a 4-point game, 6:50, but to the rack, going LDO, and the soft lay-in showing you this is how it works, down by 2.
Listen, I can make a layup in that. That's a layup drill they're giving him right now.
Now, one of the things that's kind of surprising about Outlaw is almost a turnover. He almost never rises for a dunk. He is always going up with just the layup.
Yeah.
Despite
that's
clear
smart
pathways.
Yeah, I mean, he's conserving energy. He knows he's going to be shooting the ball 25 times tonight. So he's conserving his energy. He dunks when he needs to, but yeah, that's smart. He's conserving energy. Look at that. Look at that. He's just laying up. It's easy. Easy money.
Showing us that whoop-de-whoop. Ties this thing up at 69 apiece.
And now you see why Bad Boys is badly holding on to an 8th spot. If they still, I haven't checked their record. Are they still in it? They may be out of it right now as the game has started. They need to win tonight to make sure that they're still in it. But we see why they're at the bottom of that list, because defensively they're not making stops at all or making any changes.
And it's not just LDO getting it on the Magic. It's Akil Huber there, 71-69. And worth pointing out, Bad Boys basketball was, in fact, the first team to 69 as Phenom rises for 2 more, ties this thing back up. So this will put to test Siege's theory of first to 69 wins every time, 60% of the time. Here's
Yeah,
Outlaw.
I mean, right now, basketball defense looking like neighborhood girl I knew named Felicia. Everybody got a turn.
Well, there is a deep pull-up. That's Dre Ryder providing some help as they're trying to alleviate some of the pressure here on LDO. That one won't fall there. Heads the opposite direction. Ryder with the ball, swings it around to Outlaw. Outlaw screen coming. Pull up, midi. Can't hit anything. That is what it ain't right there.
Jeez.
Just over the midway point or just approaching it. Inside to Phenom. No double comes this time. Hands up in the air, gets it. Good defense there from Newman. Ryder trying to feed Newman, pays it up on the other end. Lead is to 4. Best Coast Ballers, their defense letting them get out in transition. And they've really attacked this Bad Boys defense on the other end. That will be a Bad Boys timeout. 75-71. Game 2 of our triple header tonight. Right here, you are tuned into it. Last game of the evening, Rocky Mountain Monsters playing host to Southeast Select in what figures to be a massive game. Rocky Mountain 15-6, a big win last night. Southeast Select 16-6, a chance for them to regain the lead in the Legend Conference. Then we've got a doubleheader tomorrow, Yacht Club and Gotham 5. Yacht Club in desperate need of a win. They are now just a half game back of both ATLiens and Asia Pacific for that 8 seed. Gotham 5, meanwhile, at 13-7, needing a win to stay above Run DMV, 13-8 on the year.
And Yacht Club is more than desperate. What word is more than desperate? That's what Yacht Club is right now. They're whatever word means more desperate than the actual word desperate. That's what Yacht Club is right now.
Well, they ain't too proud to beg. How about that? Post up coming up between this game and our last one.
Shout out to you.
Make sure you're tuning in. It's going to be Yells, be joined by Siege. So I hope they discuss if Bad Boys is unable to come out with a win here. The theory would take its first L of the season, with Bad Boys reaching 69 first if they're unable to come away with a win.
Man, is that 5-1 in the background? Shout out to the PA announcer.
Cole Pagnotti driving into the paint. He has been off the floor here in the fourth, and he enters and immediately gets a bucket. So comes in at the midway point. Pagnotti Jr. stops the bleeding of what had been a pretty good Best Coast run, but LDO trying to get going, can't get that one to fall over Ballerz. Here's Phenom, guarded by Ryder. That one's tipped away briefly by Mullins. Kicks around, swings around. Back to Ballerz. Pagnotti Jr. with Phenom in the corner. Phenom going into the post. Double team does come here late in the shot clock. Has to get that one up. Can't get it to go. Ryder on the board.
Let's see what they do here.
They'll go over to Outlaw, clear the floor for him. Double team comes. Is he going to be concerned about it? He won't. Kicks it to Ryder. Deep 2 will go.
Let me get all 3 of those, Blair.
August inside. We've seen plenty of these post actions. Double team comes on Phenom. Has Pagnotti wide open. Doesn't want it. Instead, he's going to get swatted away.
We call that hat to the back. Get that out of here.
Dre Ryder has risen to the occasion on the defensive end in this quarter. Swings it around to Outlaw. 3-pointer on top. Hand down, man down. Triple.
That might have done it. That may have done it.
Lace Darius Outlaw, a massive 3-pointer there over top of Lorenzo Phenom. Pushes the lead to 7. We're stepping aside, back for the final 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter after this.
H-Town shit. Know what I'm saying?
Ricky taught me.
Fourth quarter, Best Coast Ballerz on top, 80-73. Lays Darius Outlaw 27 points, 13 of 26. He has gotten into the paint with impunity. Samuel Ballerz has just had no chance at stopping Outlaw one-on-one, and he has taken full advantage, leading this Best Coast comeback. Phenom, though, 2 more points, gets it to 20 on the game for him. We're back within 5.
Here we go.
Rick, this game is not quite done yet at the 2-minute mark.
Not quite. We're going to see what changes Bad Boys made defensively. That's the only way they get a chance of coming back in this game.
Trey Ryder can't get that to fall. Phenom walks this one up. Gets it to Ballerz.
They need a good shot right here.
He's trying to work on Outlaw. Alley-oop to Chamberlain.
In the words of TLC, baby, baby, baby.
Well played, well played. Outlaw trying to answer, can't get it to go. Offensive putback for Mullins, he gets it. And that answers the growing momentum in the fourth quarter. Minute and a half to go. Phenom now trying to go to work. Briefly had Chamberlain, this is going to be tied up. Jump ball coming, Trey Ryder with the timely grab of the ball.
Only Phenom allows himself to get tied up in a jump ball at a time like this.
Down 5, needing this one back. Phenom wins the jump to Ballerz. Ballerz, the mid-ranger, gets it to fall. We're back to within 3.
If Bad Boys can make a win this game, I got to give play the game to Ballerz. I'm saying that right now.
Errant shot there, or rather alley-oop attempt. Corner 3 won't go. Chance to tie it up here.
Give it to the Barkster.
To the Ballerz gets it to go.
The Barkster! Player of the game, like I said.
Samuel Ballerz answers with a triple just past a minute. 82 apiece. Switch comes. Chamberlain on Outlaw. Swings it over. Finds his way to Trey Ryder. Outlaw trying to get free off off-ball screen. They'll get it to him. Pulls up 3 of his own. Gets it to go!
Oh, that's big. That's big, big. Webbo's big right there, baby.
85-82. Best Coast on top. Lace Darius Outlaw rising to the occasion. They'll bring the double. Bogus left open. Three-pointer to tie it again. Won't fall. Rebound kicked over to Outlaw. 22 seconds to play. They won't foul him. Down by a possession, needing a stop here. No timeouts left for Bad Boys basketball. Outlaw runs the clock down. 9 seconds to shoot. Pull up three. Get it up.
Wow.
Gets it to go. Lace Darius Outlaw back-to-back threes to put away Bad Boys. And the Best Coast Ballers are going to hang on and win this thing. Lace Darius Outlaw, an incredible performance down the stretch, a pair of triples. And Best Coast Ballers takes down Bad Boys on the road. As you can hear, Rick has just one word playing on repeat.
Bad
that
Boys
is
gave
it
it up on the
from
first
Detroit.
night at home. Wow.
Best Coast wins it 88-82. Stay tuned for the post-up. Thank you for joining us for my partner in the booth, Rick. We'll see you next time. As always, see the game, be the game.
Wow.
Welcome back for another edition of the Post Up, and I'm here with my man Siege this time. Just finished stuffing his face with some crab rangoon. I'm sure that is his daily item of choice. Siege, what's going on, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. You nailed it right on the head. Just finished off actually 3 orders of crab rangoons. They were delicious, so I'm fueled up and ready for this. Ready for our little chat here today, yo.
Hey, There was a crazy game that just went on. Know we got you in the studio to come here and talk about a few things that have gone on. Not sure if you had a chance to tune in, but man, it was a good one. Lorenzo Phenom taking on Lace Darius Outlaw. On one side, we saw the star step up and be the star. On the other side, we saw the star get a little bit of help, but it just wasn't enough. Bad Boys basketball, Lorenzo came out, kind of paced himself early, and then he really kind of got it going late, but the double team was there, and he had to work within the double team. He's been seeing a lot of double teams throughout the season, and he does not fight through them the way Rick would like, the way a lot of guys would like, but he had some help there in the name of Samuel Bogus, 13 points, 11 assists, currently leads SimWorld Hoops in assists per game. But on the other side, clutch bucket after clutch bucket. And just 2 more clutch buckets than Bad Boys basketball could have. He goes by 3 initials only. You know who that is?
LDO.
LD. What does that stand for? I don't know something. I know the O is for offense. What do you 33.7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, no blocks. What do you make of this kid's game, man? I know we've been talking about him a lot here, and there's always the trending topics, but what do you see when you see LDO?
Oh, man, I see, to be honest, I see a transcendent player, and this game was a wild one. I got to catch the second half. Like you said, down the stretch, I mean, LDO was LDO, and I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. I think he's still very much so making his case to be the player of the year in the league this year. I mean, he's got it all. He does everything you could possibly want in a point guard. He does everything you could possibly want in a star player. He steps up in big moments. He doesn't shy away from making the right pass. He doesn't force shots. I mean, he is a coach's dream. He's a coach's dream. You would love to get your hands on this kid as a college coach, as a high school coach, as a pro coach. He makes your life that much easier. That's what I see from LDO. What I saw from the other side, you mentioned his name, Samuel Bogg. I mean, he had a great game, double-double, points, assists. Great game for him. Phenom, also a great game, but we expect that from him. And then late in the clutch, I mean, they were down 5 at one point. Boggs hit that mid-range. They got a stop on the other end. Came back, hit a 3, tied it up. And then, yeah, LDO and Best Coast did take over and close that one out. But, I mean, he almost had him get them into overtime there with that 3 he hit to tie the game up down the stretch with, I think, less than a minute left, if I'm not mistaken. So great game, but yeah, man, LDO is him. LDO very much so could be player of the year, in my humble opinion.
On the Samuel Bogus front, couldn't pull out the win, just wasn't quite enough. We know Lorenzo Phenom is the talk of this team, but Samuel Bogus, we've seen quite a few times in this short season, only 20 or so games in, where he's made clutch plays. I think he had a steal and an assist to win one, Larry Bird style. He had another same scenario late in the game where he actually hit the 3 to put the nail in the coffin. He shows a bit of what do we call that? The clutch gene.
He's got it. Yeah, the clutch gene.
Do you think that he's someone does he stay on this team? Does he flourish when Phenom's gone? If he stays around, does he go somewhere else? And what do you think his college career could look like?
Well, that's the thing about him. Like you said, he's got the clutch. And that's one thing we know. Another thing we know about him is he's a fantastic facilitator, very, very high IQ player. He makes the right plays. He takes good shots. And yes, having Lorenzo Phenom is obviously very helpful. And when he's gone next year, it will be a question, does he think that Bad Boys basketball is going to have enough for him to kind of flourish and still get those looks from colleges, things like that? Or does he think, hey, I need to go somewhere where I'm going to get that better opportunity? I think either way, he's going to look good. And what his college career could look like, he could absolutely be a point guard, not just on a team, but in a starting role for a team that, given a roster and coaching, could be a contender. I see him never as the number 1 or number 2 option on a contending team at the next level, but as a guy, and I don't necessarily think his game lines up with this man, but the role that I'm speaking of does, much like a Rajon Rondo with that Celtics team when they won that title. Rajon Rondo was, to me, very much so a key piece, if not the key piece. They had, that big 3 that were all fantastic players. You would rate above Rondo, most people would. But Rondo was the guy who kind of made that team what it was. He was the ultimate glue point guard. He did everything you could ask of a point guard, and that's kind of what I see for Samuel Boggs.
Man, did you look, we're talking about Samuel Ballerz, but good Lord, did you make the case for Rajon Rondo? And I'm going to tell you, I totally agree with that, and I agree with your take on the comparison between the two, except for one thing. No, actually, except for 200 things, and that is the percentage of better, better that Samuel Ballerz jump shot is.
Oh yeah, he's got the jump shot, and if we're gonna pick it apart, Rondo was probably a much better defender, but yes, I don't see their games necessarily matching up, but I see the role they could play on a really good team matching up.
Understood. Okay, well, point made. Yeah, facilitating, making it happen when it counts. I'm with you on that one. Well,
Absolutely.
Look, we talked about a couple games that ended earlier today. You missed that one. Sorry, sir, you missed out on those stories. But Lakeshore Drive, ATLiens did occur. Wondering how you felt about that game. Lakeshore Drive, 69-58. D'Angelo Jordan, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He sold popcorn. He was hitting on chicks. He did everything. 6'9", 200 pounds. I know you're out there with 247 Sports, but you moonlight here with SimWorld TV with us. Is that guy, as Charles Barkley would say, he's just a flat out stud? Is he a stud to you, or is he, is he just getting it done at the prep level with the size he has?
I think he's a stud. I mean, the thing is about him, he's one of those players that has all of the tools and even a lot of the talent to be a really great player. I think it's just going to take kind of that development, maybe with a good coach, maybe with, some one-on-one private training with some of the better trainers, that are available to the pros, things like that. I mean, he's got the frame for it. He's got the jump shot for it. He's got the ball handling for it. He's got the defense for it. He's a guy who I would put in the same, he's not at the same talent or impact level right now necessarily as a Mackenzie Mbako, but he has the same frame and kind of skill set and the ability to be a similar player, I think. And when you talk about that, you're talking about a lot of potential at the pro level. I mean, he's got the pro frame, so I think D'Angelo Jordan is that guy. I think he can be that guy, and he's getting it done right now. He just kind of had a slow getting going this season. He wasn't in the spotlight, but I think he's going to get there, absolutely.
Fair enough. We're going to keep it moving, man. You ready? You ready to get into this paint and do a little work here? It's time for the 3 in the key. Big matchup coming up, Southeast Select. We all know what they can do. Everyone talks about their main culprits, Trey, Burner, Turner, getting it done. And Mr. Gabe Pope, if you need someone locked down, he's out there too. And let's not forget a few other notable players on that team. But they're taking on the Rocky Mountain Monsters. They're going to be taking a look at a young man by the name of Justin Bell, and who's been coming on strong here recently, Lucas Banks and Daquan McDougal. 3 in the key for this one, man. What are the 3 keys you're looking for coming out of this game?
Well, 3 keys. The first and most important, and I think this is a well-known thing. It's been talked about a lot with either of these teams, but it's the battle of the field goal percentages here. You've got Rocky Mountain, who's the number 1 field goal percentage team in the league, shooting the highest field goal percentage of the team, and you have Southeast Select, who on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, defensively, are holding teams to the lowest field goal percentage in the league. So my number 1 key is who wins that battle. Can Southeast throw them off their high field goal percentage, or can Rocky Mountain keep that up? That's key 1 for me. Key 2 is, can someone match Trey Turner if he gets going? I know that Rocky Mountain has a great team-oriented thing. Justin Bell has turned himself into their number 1 guy. Lucas Banks, kind of that 1B, can also very much so get it done. But do either of them have it in them that if Trey Turner goes on a solo 15-point run, ends up with 35 in the game, sometimes that slow-paced, like team-oriented basketball doesn't always, in that moment, have the ability to keep up with one guy who's just turning it on and burning you. And when you start to double teaming him, he's dishing it to his teammates. So can someone step up, whether it be Justin Bell, Lucas Banks, or even a Daquan McDougal, somebody else, to kind of not necessarily match Trey Turner all the way? That's a big task, but kind of alleviate some of it, if that makes sense. And then my third key is similar to that one. If Justin Bell can really duel with Trey Turner, if Justin Bell has himself a 20-30 point game, I think Rocky Mountain wins this one. So those are my 3 keys for this game. Should be a really exciting one. I'm excited for this one.
All right. Well, I normally wait until we get out of here and say who you got in this one, but I'm going to ask right now.
I think, like I said, if Justin Bell gets it going, they could have this. I'm going to go with Southeast Select. They are slowly and surely, they've always been in my top team contenders, but right now, they're on a 4-game win streak.
Yeah.
They're getting hot at the right time. They're one of my favorites in my top 4 for sure for contenders for this league, and I think they win this game, even with Rocky Mountain coming off that great win against reigning Trays last night.
Wow. Well, I like how you gave yourself an out. I did catch that. If Justin Bell. If Justin Bell. Fair enough. They're about to call a tech. Let's get out the paint. Closing topic, man. We are, and I think our production team might have a typo out there. Who cares? Rocky Mountain Monsters. We haven't seen this venue in some time, but Rocky Mountain Monsters hosting. Going with the theme of monsters, man, what is the scariest movie that you've ever seen?
Oh man, okay. You've opened a can of worms on this one, Yells, but let me get you started with this.
That's scary enough to me. Worms.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Scariest movie to me has never been the jump scare or the gory movies. Those are like, sure, they're kind of scary, but like they're just short-term scary. You get startled. For me, it's the psycho thriller kind of movies, and one that I saw not too long ago is called Climax. It's one of those A24 movies. It's a French movie actually, but it's basically, not to give too much away, but a lot of just really kind of crazy shit goes down.
FCC.
Crazy stuff.
FCC come through.
Crazy stuff.
That's
goes
how
down.
scared he was.
I'm just thinking about it. I'm getting a little speechless. That's on me, FCC. Please don't find me again. But basically this group of dancers gets hired for a gig, but they show up to a high school, and there's no one there. Someone's throwing them a party. They get locked in there for the whole night, and there's some less than favorable things that go down in there, but none of it is like in your face, like jump scare. It's just you're waiting for what's gonna happen, and when it does, it rocks you. But that's all I gotta say on that one. What about you, Yels?
Not sure if anyone's heard of this movie. Maybe it's well known, and I just had never heard of it. The setting of it was in the catacombs, and it's called What Lies Beneath. I came across this movie. Good Lord, that's all I can really say. I'm much like you. I'm not for the horror or the flash or the jump scare. Like, nothing really scares me, but you can set the tone over a 2-hour period where I'm just so intent. It's just so intense where it's like, oh man. And that movie, if no one's seen that one, I don't even think I'm ruining anything by telling.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie.
They're going through the catacombs. They're excavating. Someone's a history buff, and ultimately they realize that they're on a path to hell. Essentially, is the best way I could put it. And just watch the movie. There's not much more to it, but trust me, it builds. And pretty scary. But look, man, we're gonna
give some kids nightmares tonight.
Tune in, guys. Right now, we got a scary one coming up. Rocky Mountain Monsters. It could get scary for them if Trey Turner gets going. It could get scary for Southeast Select if Justin Bell gets going. We appreciate you guys tuning in, Siege. I appreciate you joining us for the moment. We got E-Lava and LOB on the call out in Denver at the Cattle Ranch Event Center. It's a nice facility, too. So you guys have fun, and there's some good-looking girls. Don't get in too much trouble. Anyhow. This has been the Post Up. Till next time, we out of here. Peace.
Hey, good evening, Sim World. Welcome to the third game of our triple header tonight. We have had some good ones already. Let's hope this one matches up to those. Rocky Mountain Monsters at home taking on Southeast Select. Two teams winning records on winning streaks clashing tonight. Behind the mic, you have my own good self, E Lava, and I am joined by LOB. LOB, how you doing? Hello.
No, thank you. I'm good. Thank you so much, though. I do appreciate it, but thank you so much. Oh, what's going on? How you doing? How you doing?
You get the autograph hunters off you.
Yeah, because so here's what happened. Quick story. I just got off the SimWorld jet to get here because obviously I was in for the first game.
Great game.
Yeah, it was a great game, first game. But I just got off the jet and I was watching the post up. And I remember Yells was talking about some, the females get frisky here. So as soon as I got off the plane, it was straight autographs and where's E Lava? Yeah, they were asking about you too. They was like, where's E Lava? And I'm like, I gotta get to a game. We got SimWorld basketball. I had to get to a game. So they chased me all the way inside the stadium. They was looking for you. I don't know how you got in here, but
it's tough, man. The lifestyle isn't for everybody. Only the strong survive this. But you've been hanging in, LO. You're getting the lay of the land.
I'm trying to, but being in the Cattle Ranch Event Center, it gets hectic. So I'm sorry about that one, but we are here with SimWorld basketball.
Big crowd actually out tonight to watch the hometown Monsters. Won 2 in a row. 15-6 on the season. They've started well. They've got the opening bucket. And at the line here is star of the team, leading in scoring, Justin Bell, 17-year-old, 6'6" swing player out of Memphis, Tennessee, averaging 15.2 points per game. He gets the first one to go.
Talk about Justin Bell. He's one of those guys. I feel like he has a flurry of ways of scoring. 33 pointers made on the season so far, which tells you something. He's able to shoot it from downtown, but his ability to just get at any spot on the floor and get a shot is definitely big for this team. So look for him to be your leading catalyst tonight. But this team's got a lot of stars, not just him, but there's a lot of players on this team that definitely contribute. Guys like Lucas Banks, Ireland Early, my main man Booby Walker be coming off the bench, and he's been a spark for this team too. So oh my goodness. Trey Burner.
Turning our attention to the other side of this game. Yeah, Southeast Select led as always by Trey Turner. 21.1 points per contest. Nice offense there. Well, I just wanted to Google the third. 6'9", 16-year-old out of Montana. Leading rebounder and shook free for a dunk there. But Trey Turner and Dave Pope going to work now. But for Southeast, a really nice combination in the backcourt between turning and can't get that bucket to go there, but he and Pope, particularly on the defensive end. Turner, I saw last year, he was a star as a junior, as a 16-year-old playing defense.
That's right.
Not too many better defensive backcourts in the SimWorld High School hoops level than a combination of Turner and Pope.
And a lot of people talk about the fact that it's a great three-point shot right there. But as we go on throughout looking at this Southeast Select team, we look at how the backcourt goes, like you said before, Trey Turner and Gabe Pope. And I feel like one of the most underrated aspects that we don't talk about is the defensive side. We always talk about Trey Turner, calling him Trey Burner because he has a great shot on him, and Gabe Pope being able to facilitate. But both of these guys are probably some of the best defenders at the guard position in the SimWorld League. So look for that defensive catalyst to lead them in this game.
Nice spin and look at the finish. Fantastic start to this game for the Monsters. 11-2, not even 3 minutes in.
I ain't gonna lie. The stars are out tonight. This should be a good one.
Trey Turner, as always, clawing Southeast back into it. Getting it done there, and look at this. Bell takes and hits. He started red hot to begin this game, and at his size, that 6'6", 215-pound frame, his shooting ability, he's causing some real problems right out there.
There's gotta be somebody in the crowd that he's trying to impress with shots like that, because you don't just pull shots like that when nobody's watching.
Easy bucket on the other end for Darius Stack. 6'10", 16-year-old, one of the three. 6'10". Oh, and look at that. Nice defense there, and Bell just dribbled that out of bounds.
Defense showing up early.
Oh. I want to remind everybody that SimWorld TV going to be back on the air tomorrow. And backing on Wednesday, got a doubleheader. Kicking off with Yacht Club and Gotham 5. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's action. Some good games. Trey Turner shakes open for a jumper here. Can't get it to go, but Stack, offensive rebound, back up, but misses.
Yeah, it's really hard for them, to get on the inside at least. The three-pointer has been falling here for Turner early, but hard for them to get shots on the inside. But with what you called them earlier, the tyrant power trio of tall people, something along those lines.
Towering trio of teenagers is what Sally says.
The towering trio of I can't even say it. But look for those 3 6'10" dudes to go crazy tonight, all right? They have that presence. And even though it might be, not falling early on in the game, it will come sooner or later. But you can't give up dunks like that. You're 6'10". Come on.
And that's Zane Davis averaging just 6.4 a game, but the starting point guard is starting to line up. 10-point lead now for the Monsters.
Rocky Mountain is really pouring it on here early.
That helps. Well, that helps right there, certainly. And DeAndre Baldridge, 6'10", 200-pounder, but he can hit from out there. That's actually his 7th made three-pointer of the season so far, but trims the lead to just 7. Fantastic start for the Rocky Mountain Monsters. Timeout on the court. We're going to take a break as well. Come right back. We got 3:12 remaining, first quarter. Nice start for the home team, Rocky Mountain Monsters. 15-6 on the season. They are leading the Frontier Division, 2nd overall in the Legacy Conference. Southeast Select, similar story, 16-6 on the year. 1st in the Savannah Division and 2nd in the Legend Conference. And No, LOB, these two teams are both kind of sexy picks right now for like race to one finalists. And obviously the record backs that up, but either one of these teams for you, would you put in like a final four? Who do you think's going to be there?
Well, I mean, off the strength of the fact that you have a great defensive team, the tyrannical tower of trioing teams, and great shooting, I definitely have Southeast Select within that Final Four. I think Rocky Mountain could get there, as I'm starting to, develop my own, feelings and thoughts for certain teams as I continue to learn more and more about the Sim World every day, and I do my research on each teams. I definitely think Rocky Mountain could be in maybe an Elite 8 situation. I'm not entirely sure about Final Four yet. I got to do a little bit more into that one. But get your brackets ready because it's going to be a good one.
That's right. That is correct. Well, I think I'm with you on that assessment, too, as you see the third of the trio of terrors. That's Vanessa Warnick getting in on the action. Got that rebound there. But I, too, have Southeast as nice interception there. Lucas Banks comes up with the ball. But I think that Southeast has the leadership, the experience, the depth. I like their pieces. I think they can definitely make the run. No knock on Rocky, who I think can actually take anybody out on any given night, especially if that guy continues to go to Justin Bell. But yeah, you gotta take Southeast as a little bit more of the Vegas odds favorite right now. I think, although the way Rocky is playing of late and playing so far in this one, maybe they're not feeling adequately respected. Maybe they haven't been. 11-point lead now, biggest of the game.
Yeah, this is definitely big. Rocky Mountain jumping up to a lead early like this. Reminiscent of the first game that I was at earlier before I had to hop on the jet. One team did get out to an early lead, but the other team did start crawling back. So I'm led to believe that, if games have been panning out the way that they have been so far today, then this one should be nothing less of exciting some more basketball.
Nice position inside, but the swatted away. Warnick got that one.
The tyrannical towering tallers.
Warnick couldn't get the second one, though.
I'm telling you, every single time it's going to probably be something different because I'll never get it right.
Some subs in the game now. Terrell Pearson, who got a three, is in there. A lot of contact. Maury Washington, who got that nice inside bucket at the other end, picks up the foul there. It's going to send Southeast to the line. Justin Solomon, a 17-year-old, 6'4" wing player out of Camden, New Jersey. Oh, excuse me, that's Pearson at the line.
Well, E, let me ask you something. Out of the terribly tall teenagers, which one do you feel like is, if you had to pick one to
biggest upside?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I mean, I think you have to love Kadarius Stack in particular. And actually, all these guys are really good. And considering they're 16, and assuming they all come back to Southeast Select, play for Brett Lee next year, look out. We're going to be pulling down in the post. But Kadarius Stack, he's not a great scorer yet, not shooting 50%. And of course, he doesn't shoot much more than 3 or 4 feet away from the hoop. So, I think we can work on that. And he's just at an elite level as a defender and a rebounder. Even this team rebounding with 8.7, as a matter of fact, getting 2.3 blocks per game. Maury Washington puts up a quick second foul for Rocky Mountain Monsters. He's Maury, 6'9", 250, big body out of Nederland, Texas. He's the second man in the paint usually. Rocky behind Daquan McDougal getting a little bit of a breather, but situation to watch there as we're getting into the final seconds of the first quarter.
Yeah, this first quarter has been very action-packed, to say the least, right? Offensively and defensively, so stay tuned.
Look at that. Nice rebound. Warnick's had some nice minutes off the bench here. He cuts that lead to 6, but there's enough time here for Rocky to get a shot. And Justin Bell has it. Trey Turner on him. Deep three. Won't go. Monsters, nice first 8-minute run for them. They lead by 6. We're going to take a quick timeout and then bring it back to the Cattle Ranch Event Center.
Car's all yours.
Thanks. Car's stuck.
nice start for the Rocky Mountain Monsters, looking to defend their home turf here in the great state of Colorado. Winners of their last 2, and 4 out of their last 5, but Southeast even hotter, 5 in a row for them.
Very interesting. One thing that I noted in that first quarter, whenever we talk about the Tyranius tall people, 3 6'10", but Rocky Mountain was actually leading that first quarter in points in the paint, which is surprising when you talk about the entire presence of Southeast Select.
No, they just had the offensive game plan. It's coming back a little bit now, and this is with the a lot of subs out there. Look at that. That is Terrell Pearson. 7 points in the game for Pearson. And you know what? You were seeing him do kind of what he does best. 51st ranked player in SimWorld, but he comes off the bench. He's just a spark plug for Southeast and shows you the luxury they have with this roster. Oh, nice move there.
That's a good move. That's a great move.
Finish.
He's just too small.
Has the ball now, but for you younger basketball fans out there, Google or go to Wikipedia and look up Vinny the Microwave Johnson. Terrell Pearson has a little bit of that in his game for sure. He can come out and just be a ball of energy, point per minute, play defense kind of guy. That's what he's doing so far tonight. 4-point game now. Monsters have the ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know this now. I typically don't think anybody really uses Wikipedia like that anymore. I'm pretty sure when you just look up something, they just read the little description that Google gives them. And
then it pops up there. Yeah. Part of my thing, LOB, is I like to bring, the trivia, the knowledge. So I like to go a little bit in depth, find out something maybe I didn't realize before. So I'm still a Wikipedia man myself. Not that I ever give them anything, but that's just because I'm cheap. Coco Bryce in the game now. Ooh, had his pocket picked, but last touched by Rocky.
26 seconds.
I was going to say, no time here left on the clock. A lot of new faces coming into the game, including Gray Turner back out on the court. That's who you want to shoot, right, with this much time on the clock.
I'm about to say, if there's anybody who I want to give the ball with 0.6 seconds, it's definitely him. Oh, Pope was there.
Didn't hit him. Oh!
And he still
made it.
knocks it down.
Wow, that's a bitter pill to swallow, but just didn't get it off quite in time.
At least you know he can hit it.
I feel bad for Gabe Pope. He's been struggling from the field all season long. Just 37% shooting overall on the year, leading the team in assists and plays some great defense, of course.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about, Pope, right? Whenever he's not able to be a weapon offensively as far as scoring, right, he's able to find other ways to, make things happen on the defensive end, being a facilitator for his team. And I feel like that's huge, right? As a player, especially heading to the next level, being able to utilize other skill sets that you may have to be an asset to your team is big. Gabe Pope isn't the best scorer, right? Kind of leave that to Trey Turner. But when it comes to on the defensive end, he's able to be that guy defensively, be a facilitator. That was a beautiful shot there by Turner. He's able to utilize himself in other ways.
3 back-to-back threes for Southeast. Gabe Pope hit one before that. And they have their first lead of the game. 27-25. We're down by as much as 11 earlier.
Rocky doesn't respond here. Things can get ugly quick.
Nice defense from Stack inside. Look at that. Nice defense from Pope. He steals the ball.
Inside.
Nice dish from Pope. Stack has a little too far underneath, however. Sets up. Oh, he's going to take the jumper. Can't hit it. That's what I've been talking about. Once Stack kind of develops a little bit more of a offensive repertoire than that, he's going to be a handful because look what he does on defense.
That is big defensively.
Nice dish inside to his teammate Warnick, too. Gets the assist. Stack. 2 big men connect. 4-point lead now for Select. They have completely turned this thing around.
And it's been on the defensive end first. That's first and foremost. It's been on the defensive end. That's why they've been able to turn this game around, right? Then offensively, they just found smarter shots and they were able to knock down buckets. But don't think Rocky Mountain's going to go easy.
They didn't there. Tough bucket inside. Oh, and tough defense. Chance to even things up. They'll take the lead. Going to try to, and 3 won't go. Rebounded by Warnick again.
offensively here for Southeast Select. It's what I love to watch. Whenever I love watching a Southeast Select game, I love the fact that players are constantly, you watch them play, players are constantly moving, setting screens, motion, and that's why they get the looks that they do.
That's very unselfish, including the team captain, leading scorer Trey Turner. Turner averaging just a little under 2 assists a game. Yeah, as a team, definitely pretty free-flowing Southeast, and definitely unselfish the way Brad Lee has them.
And although they didn't score that in the last possession, you've seen that they were able to get their own offensive. Wow, what a tough move! That's tough shot.
Yeah, that's
one thing you notice. One thing you do notice is that like whenever rebounds are made right after missed shots, then people are still moving and getting open, right? Because once the offensive rebound gets taken up, someone else gets in a position to get a score. So it's interesting to see how they move, how they space the floor, and I love watching Southeast Select play like that.
I love watching Trey Turner too. The little floater right there. Hello, that was my signature shot back in my day, which ended about freshman year of high school, but we'll talk about that some other time. Timeout on the court. Southeast Select has come all the way back. 2-point lead for them. 2:59 to go. Second quarter. I want to remind everybody out there that if you're watching this game, there is absolutely no reason you shouldn't be in this game. See the game, be the game, as they say. You can come into the SimWorld world and you can be a player, you can be a coach. Hey, Rocky Mountain Monsters, they can use a little help right now, playing well in spite of a little turmoil at the top. But Brad Lee, all-time winningest coach in SimWorld Hoops history. He's got 31, looking to get 32 tonight with Southeast Select. That could be you. Go to discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. Join us there.
You know, E, I have a question because you call yourself the NBA trivia guy, and you know,
I know the general trivia guy. I can
the
go
general
Russian Revolution. Okay. What do you want? You know.
All right. Well,
I got you.
Well, I think we should start doing this, and I would love to make this tradition. I think I should start doing this with you, with being trivia. But I'll ask you a question. I'll answer it later on in the broadcast, and the people watching at home can also give their answers. But the question that I have for you, right?
Okay. If I know it, should I say it? That's my one clear.
You can give your answer. You can give your answer, but I will reveal it later on because I want everybody else to have the chance to answer.
Say it right away. I'm right or wrong. Okay.
Right. So, during which NBA season did block shots? Wow. Thrown finish there. Darius stat. But the question is, during which NBA season did blocked shots become an official statistic?
Officially recorded stat. Oh boy. Well, I don't know if I'm going to nail the year. I'm going to feel bad if I miss it by more of a span either side of 3 or 4 years. I think.
Yeah, I'll give you 5.
Oh, yeah, 5 even. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to nail it. I hope I nail it. I am going to say. Man.
What a shot. Beautiful shot there.
79. I am going to say 1979. I hope I'm right.
Final answer, 1979. For everybody at home, you can lock in your answers, and I will reveal the answer later on. But,
all right. Going to keep you to that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna prompt you come the second half.
I'll bring it up later, but everybody can start filling in their answers right now.
Don't look it up. I couldn't look it up. I didn't have that luxury. Don't do that. Just make your guess.
just make an educated guess.
Just make your guess. Well, anybody's guess who's going to win this game? These two teams, after an initial early run from the Monsters, been some really good, just back and forth basketball. Two good teams playing well. Darius Stack gives it up to Trey Turner. Goes inside. He's so dangerous down there, but he can't get that one to go.
Very interesting to see how the Rocky Monsters have sort of clawed back into this one when it looked like it was getting a little bit ugly. They're keeping their composure, and that's what I like.
Oh! There's some composure or something shown by Daquan McDougal. He has had some nice moments tonight, averaging 9.4 points per game, shooting 62% from the field. He gives the Monsters back a lead. Coach Brad Lee decides he wants to take a timeout, talk that over with his squad, and tighten up something there on defense, get those 16-year-old 6'10" bodies to focus a little bit more on Daquan McDougal. Only ranked 93rd overall in the SimWorld rankings, but also just 16 years old. And, he impresses me usually every time I see him. The thing I love about McDougal is his all-around game is already pretty educated, averaging 2.3 assists as well. Explains why you got some top-tier schools like Alabama and Gonzaga after him.
Those are some very top-tier schools. I just want to know, right, at 16 years old, what are you eating to get that big? Right?
There's a lot of it going around. A lot of these big kids. And you know what? Oh, my gosh, these Texas kids. And, of course, we have to have a prominent Texas player on one of these teams tonight. Find a good team, you'll find a Texan. Rocky Mountains, Maury Washington. 6'9", 254. He's 17. He's a little bit older, but he's solid. Big body down low there. Being recruited. In fact, heavily tipped to become a Texas Longhorn at the next level.
That's actually pretty good for him. The fact that he's able to stay home and continue to develop his game. But you did mention before, there's always a Texas kid somewhere. Always. Somewhere on the floor. Or somewhere on the
happened. Something happened
somewhere in the gym.
7 years ago in Texas.
Yeah. And it just started a revolutionary, what a dunk there. It started a revolutionary wave for SimWorld basketball to at least have one Texan player. Just, that's just kind of how that works.
Right. Under a minute, first half, Justin Bell, he started off the game hot, and he's going to see if he still is. Can't get that to go. Stacked with the rebound.
Am I entirely mad at that shot?
No.
I mean, if he's confident in taking that shot, and if the coach is confident, because it was clearly an ISO situation there, but would I have liked him to drive on someone shorter, like I think he's trying to do now? Now, see, if he would have did that the first possession, right?
Yeah.
Might have been a little bit. I might have would have did that the first possession, next possession, step back through.
Good first half for Justin Bell. The line shooting 2. Mentioned Bell is from Memphis, and a bit of a recruiting war going on between Memphis and Tennessee for his services at the college level. Coco Bryce coming back in the game for the last 19.8 seconds. Yep.
That's my guy, Coco Bryce. I forget where he's from. He's from London. I always forget where he's from, but
he's from the United Kingdom.
My guy.
1 point game. Southeast ball. Could be looking to hold for one here. Pearson in the game now out there with Trey Turner.
I'm feeling a Coco Bryce shot right here.
Right, Bryce out of the game, actually. Excuse me, not Turner. Oh, bad pass. See if the Monsters get a heave off. Yes, they do. Oh, well, slipped on line just a little bit short, but seesaw battle here at the Cattle Ranch. 1 point game as we go to the halftime break, and wow. What a great start from Rocky Mountain. I was afraid for a minute that we were going to have a blowout on our hands. They looked like they were playing really well on both ends of the floor. And it wasn't exactly like they fell apart, but Southeast Select, wow. I mean, they really came back there. You know that Trey Turner's also started to perform well, but who else was a big key for you?
I just feel like, Justin Bell getting them going often early, confidence that he plays with is absolutely unmatched. And I feel like Rocky Mountain is just riding that coattail right now, right? When you got your star player going, right, and then it kind of just feeds throughout the rest of the team. So continue to look to Justin Bell to be your main scorer. The other guys got to get involved to be able to sustain the lead. But for Southeast Select, they got to keep their inside presence going. Got to stop shots on the inside, and it could honestly get real ugly real quick if them 3-star falling.
Justin Bell with 11. Halftime break. Come right back. Second half action when we come back to SimWorld TV.
Smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or
Still to be happy about.
you're up 2-0?
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
One-point lead for Southeast, led by Trey Turner, 10 points. Justin Bell, game high 11 for Rocky Mountain Monsters. Southeast has it to begin this. Shake Travis working out top. Got Justin Bell defending him.
You know, when we start looking into the second half of this game, I feel like it's going to be a lot more of the same. It's going to be tightly contested, trading buckets back and forth. I'm not sure if I can see any team pulling away because the way that both teams are playing right now, it just seems very balanced, you know. They're looking to their scorer, Justin Bell, for the Monsters, and for Southeast Select, Trey Turner's been doing his thing. Katarius Stack, he's having a pretty nice stat line, 4 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Would it be possible for him to get a triple-double?
Triple-double watch. Triple-double. You came out of your mouth, so triple-double watch is officially on. It's just a triple-double alert. This isn't a warning. You don't have to take shelter or anything yet.
It's just a watch. Just a watch.
Just a watch.
The notification.
You're on
Just a
triple-double
watch.
watch.
Just be aware. That's all. But double-doubles, could see it.
Some scoring would help. That's on all sides. And there, finally, the stalemate broken.
And that's a great
lead. Daquan McDougal quietly having a little time for himself, and that's kind of what McDougal often does. Oh, Gabe Pope lost his defender there and got a bucket to rattle on.
And I love Gabe Pope, the way that he's able to, once he gets past his defender, which he doesn't use, you know, a flurry of move to get past him, but once he does, he's straight downhill. He knows once I'm past one, I'm in a 4v5 situation, right? And that way I can set up and open up the floor more for the rest of my team. So that was not a shot that you want to take in this situation.
A tough shot there from Bell. You know, he started the game just, I think he hit his first 3 or 4 shots to get going, had 7 points first quarter. He hasn't played poorly since then, but definitely not as efficient. Really off on that one. Just a low percentage ill-advised shot. Ooh, Trey Turner had a wide open look. That drives inside on the defender. Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't take it. Instead, he took the drive on McDougal, which I didn't think was the best decision.
There's a block from Kadarius Stack.
And they missed a mismatch there because offensively, Trey taking that layup on McDougal, when they went back in transition on defense, they immediately locked onto each other. So that was a huge mismatch that didn't get exploited.
Short on the jumper. Tough drive. Ireland early can't get the shot to fall. Andre Baldridge, the big man, handling out top, and he's got Bell on him. Interesting matchups out there, and oh, look at that. It worked out for Rocky Mountain. Got Baldridge to throw the ball away. You see Booby Walker, 6'7", 220-pounder out of Las Vegas, set to enter the game.
Watch the motion here this possession. Watch how the players move this possession. Just pay attention to the motion. That's going to be big here for a bucket.
That's how the double team leads to an open three and nailed it.
Great
Booby
vision
Walker
there.
off the bench and into the score sheet.
Booby Walker.
Just his fourth made three of the game or the year, but 56% overall shooter. He definitely stroke it.
But that's great vision there by McDougal to see that the double team was incoming, had a teammate wide open. Beautiful kick out for the third.
A tough offensive sequence last minute or so for the point guard, Gabe Pope. He well short on a jumper, possession before, and then on that one, just stepped out of bounds, gives the Monsters the ball back.
In honor of Siege, I have to call that one out. That's definitely an Irish spring green from Booby Walker there.
Excellent call out. Well done, LO.
I've been stealing everybody's lingo today, so I might as well. I'm gonna lose a lot of money. I'm sorry, but you know,
man,
we all work together.
Another tough shot from Bell. He shook Turner, but then had Shake Travis still on him. Travis can really defend. Couldn't get that
You
shot
gotta look
go.
at this. And I mean, they kind of got, at this point they've kind of got his number, so he's got to look to find somebody else now. This is that point where somebody else can start turning it up here because they've got Bell's number so far.
Gabe Pope has really kind of been a focus of the offense on this third quarter for Southeast Select. I wonder if that's Rocky trying to take Turner away. Hey, we'll try to let Gabe Pope beat us with his shooting and driving on this end. Mixed bag of results, and boy, Justin Bell has just gone ice cold. Turner gets it in the corner, but gives it up.
It's hard to make a shot like that. Defensively, they got great defense. Wow.
What athletic ability. You know, Trey Turner, I think people recognize, of course, his shooting prowess and even his quickness. He's a speedy player, but he has some athleticism too. He can jump flat-footed under the bucket there. Two-handed reverse dunk. That's not everyone can do that.
Yeah, Justin Bell has just. I mean, credit to Trey Turner's dunk that you just mentioned, but Justin Bell, as I continue to watch, it's just hard to watch. You know, he had such a great beginning in the first quarter, but single-handedly his shooting slump and the fact that he hasn't looked to anyone else has caused this deficit.
Andre Baldridge. Oh boy,
he's out of it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, he's out of it right now.
Well, this is part of the problem with the Rocky Mountain coaching situation, too, is there's not necessarily a strong voice who can say, hey, Justin, you should sit on the pine maybe for a minute, cool down a little bit, get your head back, and maybe get back to that first quarter kind of game. It's now Kenneth Gaffney picks up a foul. Monsters down by 4. It's not like there's much of a margin here, but it feels like everything going Southeast way right now, and that they have all the momentum in addition to the ball.
Everything's going south for Rocky Mountain. And Southeast is going
Southeast.
north. I'm not sure if that works,
Southeast.
but yeah, things are going
Pearson.
south for Rocky and north for Southeast. So
another rebound for Kadarius Stack, but he couldn't get the shot to go, impeding his triple-double quest.
Now this is a good matchup here. I like that. That's a smart shot there. Unfortunately, this whole team can't get the lid off, and this is what I mentioned before going into the half. Whenever Justin Bell is on, it improves, you know, everybody else's level of play. But the fact that he can't buy a bucket right now, it's hindering his team right now. His team can't even buy a bucket.
Kadarius Stack just got one. Now they surrender one to this end. Nico Bryce in the game and brings the ball up. Big body Bryce, 6'3", 206 pounds, and look what he can do. Oh, and he had some words there for Rocky Mountain at the end as well. Not afraid to mix it up. Coco Bryce.
Coco Bryce. My man out the UK. Getting the play.
Bell has it. Struggle for him, really, since that first quarter. Oh, and he turns it over.
Gosh, I hate to see it.
West
You know,
in the corner, and Jalen West buries a three.
They got to get a timeout or something, because you just hate to see that. The way that they're playing this right now, they need to get a timeout. They need to have some sort of regroup, because the way Justin Bell is playing, he literally just Ben Simmons passed it away when he should have took the layup. Like, they need a timeout or something. Or something like that.
Well, Bell finally got it back together there. Got the jumper to go over Bryce, but we're under a minute. Southeast up by 6. 3 away from Pearson. Oh, he knew that was good.
Terrell Pearson.
I'm going to call him the microwave. It was Vinnie Johnson's nickname. It's good enough for Terrell Pearson. Terrell the microwave Pearson.
Microwave Pearson. I kind of like
the
that.
bench, heating things up.
I like that.
Like a Pop-Tart.
You heat up Pop-Tarts?
I've been known to.
I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with heating up Pop-Tarts, but it's just one of those things where, like, kind of eat them out the box. Now, putting them in the fridge doesn't
ingredients to that. Sometimes, particularly with like a fruit flavor, a good strawberry, you heat it up a little bit.
I see.
Just some cuisine tips here from your Lava and LOB tonight. Oh, alley-oop. Misdirected into Justin Bell's hands.
Bucket points here going into the half.
Gets it back. He's going to take it and drains it. Justin Bell, clearly it's not been tired legs been causing any problem. He's still getting it done out there. The Heat won't go, but Southeast extended a 1-point halftime lead up to 5. Full quarter of basketball to go, though. Fourth quarter remaining. Come right back, SimWorld TV.
Car's all yours.
Thanks. Cars.com's expert reviews made it easy, but...
Shouldn't there be more back and forth?
You missed the drama, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this will do the trick.
It's a puppy.
Not a puppy, a wolf.
What now?
He's a wolf. And that is its incredibly protective mother.
Put the wolf down.
You guys good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
Five-point advantage for Southeast. Rocky Mountain been playing good defense tonight. Their defense has really been kind of keeping them in the game. 13 points off turnovers.
That's been huge. That has been huge there.
Well, but in spite of that, they still trail, and that's a testament to the strength of Southeast Select. And Turner and Terrell Pearson both on a dozen points to lead them. And there's a nice little flip up and in. Juan McDougal, he doesn't really demand the ball. He doesn't look to be a first option on offense, but did really well tonight.
He has been great for them tonight. Great finish there. Terrell Pearson with the dunk. But I think it's about that time. Time to answer the $1 million question that everybody has been wondering. So, question that was asked earlier. During what season was blocks counted as an official stat? Official stat. I did see a lot of answers. Someone did mention whenever it was about the time that Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain came into the league, and the way that they were blocking shots, they had to make it an official stat. But the correct answer is the 1973-74 season.
73-74. Oh man, I missed it, but just barely. With my 5-year window that you gave me so charitably, I guess 79, 6 years out, I wouldn't have. Can I say one thing? I might have guessed a few years earlier. When you asked the question, I almost immediately blurted out 1982. You know what? Because I'm not 90% sure I'm right about this, but that's when sacks were added as an NFL stat. Like Deacon Jones and these guys back in the day didn't get their sacks counted. And we can check that, but I feel like that is 82. And I was like, wait a minute, no, that wasn't dunks. That was, or blocks. That was that was sacks. Well, I thought it might have been a little bit earlier, but I was like, oh, maybe it would have been around that same time, too. Anyway, good question, good trivia. I like that as a new regular feature, please. I definitely do, so thanks for bringing that. And we got a timeout here on the court. Southeast still at 1-5. I want to remind everybody watching out there, if you're watching this game and you're not part of our Discord community, that's just, frankly, that didn't make any sense. That's
Criminal.
Come to Discord. It's discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. It is where all conversation and controversy, it's where the news drops. It's where you want to be. Come there, join us, be part of the community. Every day. Right now, Southeast Silicon there saying Terrell Pierce leading the way off the bench. And you don't see many people who really start the game all year. The 51st ranked player in this game being recruited by schools like Purdue and Vanderbilt, but you see why when Terrell Pearson's out there on the court. He's a leader, and he also doesn't have an ego. He doesn't care. He knows his role, and he excels.
And I love the fact that he's confident in his skill set, the way that he plays the game, the way that he goes about being a part of his game, playing his role, understanding what he needs to do, when he needs to do it, and how he needs to go about doing it. And those are the players that I love, right? Don't got much to say. They go out on the floor every night and just handle business.
Darius Stack handling his business. He's still in play for that triple-double. He needs a few more assists and points. Another rebound there. Teammate Ballerz, probably the most offensively gifted of the big men for Southeast, but he couldn't get that shot to go. Here comes Booby Walker and Rocky Mountain. Nice dish from Walker. Nice finish.
And that's great basketball right there. Finding the open teammate, but do go also with the tough finish. But we start to notice, right? We talk about the tyrannical tall teenagers and whatnot, but the fact that a lot of these points are coming on the inside for Rocky Mountain. So what's going on down there with the teams?
There's some more good interior defense. That time Ireland early came up with it. Ooh, tough shot there. Won't go. No second chance. 3 on the way. Can tie this up, and it does.
Walker with the 3, and we've got ourselves a cup game, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice move. Might have been a foul there, too. Nice finish for Trey Turner.
And this is about that time where Trey Turner starts turning it on here. The question is, and the big question is, we're not going to win this game, is who's gonna match him? Who's gonna go band for band with Trey Turner with 4:35 left in this fourth quarter? Who's it gonna be?
Walker taking over for Mountain. Answering Turner. Still from bucket here. Booby only having 5.8 in double digits right now.
He's definitely showing up right now, especially when they need him. Great move and finish there by Terrell Pierce to bring it back within the 2. And we're starting to get close. I've been referencing so many different people as part of this whole broadcast that I have to do it once again. We're getting close to the magical number.
Nice defense from Stack, and he comes up with a rebound. That's another one for him. He's on 10 rebounds now.
That's a big defensive possession there too, especially late in this game. They can turn the points. This could easily turn the tide.
Gets in good position, gets into that right hand, but can't finish.
Wow, and that is big.
Limited offensive player compared to Stack, but limited potential. Ireland early tries to work in on him, so they can back it out. We know the Terrell Pierce and Trey Turner without a floor right now. Probably close out this game with those two in the back court Southeast, and that 3 won't go. Another rebound for Stack.
Bell is not on the floor right now, and here he goes about to get back in. But you would have thought he would have been a little bit sooner, but I just noticed that he wasn't on the floor. Great defensive play on the inside.
Bell did need a bit of a rest, and that was a nice play there. Davis break that up. Oh, finds it. Good player down low and gets the finish.
Here we go.
Good catch. 95-pounder out of 94. It's a big bug right there. Ties things up with 2:49 to go in this one.
He's ready to step in. It's definitely going to be one of those games as of right now. What?
Hello. I was gonna say preview too. You know, is the game here. We gotta come up with our player of the game too. And I feel like there's a half dozen different candidates, and maybe who wins this game might influence us. So that's gonna be tough tonight.
That is very, very true. There's a lot of different candidates right now as far as who can really, get this award. Before we do that, I did want to say, I looked it up. It is 1982. Sacks were so that is correct. Yes, 1982.
All right, so I told you I could do a trivia.
I got you on that one. But player of the game, I'm going to go to a lot of different players. Derek, defensively, we got always doing his thing. Justin Bell, I'm not sure if I can give it to him just yet. The way that he's performed on that third quarter, which, the Quan McDougal, you can make your own little groove walk all the way the game playing.
You gotta pick one now. It's time for deciding.
I'm gonna have to give it to McDougal. I have to give it to McDougal the way that he's playing consistently throughout this entire game.
On the other hand, I'm going to give it to Darius Stack Jr. He has been a beast out there. Good scoring, not good scoring, but defense, rebounding, and assists as well. 6 assists. He added one here right now with Panther. Oh, little drive, a little flip up and in.
And that's exactly what I mean. He got, as soon as they one person a full court press him, but as soon as he got past him, he went straight down. That's what I had that was going to make.
The right Stack hands. Hope out there. Terrell Pierce to the bench. There for his defense. Got it going on offense. That's a possession here. Here's the assist. Look who just splashed down. Great turn. Suddenly it's a 5-point lead.
And see, watching it, there it is. Irish Green to hit the backbone number. And I did both of those first at the same time. Green to hit them back number. See, it's something just so watching this and I know it's very hard. I see that down with anybody. That's what we got to talk about. I'm looking. I would hope that in this situation they should be in the handle for turn and they are no good.
Good turn. You got to do that. That's on the drive. That's Baldridge. Great finish there.
Great finish.
Smaller banks on use that 3-inch size and
I think you got to get into the move here. There it is.
They do. Nice defense.
Here we go. Just too early of a shot to the way to win.
Banks on it.
Great flurry of Lucas bucket.
Lucas Banks holds the wood from the half outside the dummy. Now, as there's a clock running out. This is the shot. That's actually the defenses are pushing. Monsters with the call on that. 10 remaining. 7.1. LOP, you want to come to court here and get a shot off. I think I was really quickly. You're 5 seconds. That's easy. You get that off as soon as you down 10. As you get put in.
Yeah, I do see it, but we won't have to wait and see it after this break here because, that takes some time to wait.
Time out on the court. Each team has one remaining. Well, this team has had to live up to the building. 2 of the 3 teams. 3 of them. They've just traded haymakers back and forth. Southeast have 5-point lead. They go about 69 to 64 right now. Thanks again, defense is really been. Defense has still turnovers they force. They scored off of, but kept them right in. Bird went to his hand. We should make the shot here. I'm not looking for it. I want to get the shot here. Make us I'll try to say that you get that down. But I'm going to get definitely for me to be on the inside. Go to the corner. I'll probably go on this money for her on the outside. So just get some motion. Swing around. You go on the inside. And that's one. Zane Davis out there comes up with the three. Ball in and it's Ballerz hands. Work there on Travis. Leaves it up to the hole. Can't get it go. Bonus basketball, folks. They're heading overtime here. Calculation event center. All up at 61 in regulation. Decent split from Duval. Could not get the shot to go. Southeast holds and we're going overtime. On the duel, well, Pearson, we were expecting him to be scoring this game over time, but here is Stack, 6 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals on block. He's had almost quite a game. He wants something for you.
Yeah, definitely. I got some people gotta watch out here. At some point, one of them is going to Trey. Wants it to be. Looks like a little bit of India there on that right. Looks like now. Their bones are green and bent at this young age, so you know, never hurt to see that matter what. Jack is 2 for 3 tonight. He hasn't been able to budget, but he has before. Possession towards Allen and sends it to line. Bell will line a few times tonight. A conversion. Bell shooting 54% of the field overall this season, including 30s in this game. That's this back up, and he gets really tied since pretty much midway through the second. Oh, yeah. To this point, yes. I wanted to hear the switch, but I want to hear the crowd cheer us in sound. Yeah. There, and that's a break for Southeast. Here comes Trey. Can't get that one to go, but the rebound by Ballerz. And you can just see every single move is that point in the game. I know these kids are tired and everything. Like you can just see every single move that they make, every single. It's very articulate at this point in the game.
What's a sequence for Travis? Gets a bucket, now the gets a steal, gets an assist, fine, open corner, 6-point lead, and halfway through this overtime period. Juan Cougar doing everything he can to keep the Monsters in us. They're battling all night. It's a deep Southeast team, but they'll be on the spot. I'll tell you this. It's all night.
Got a bucket. Got his contributor. I like gameplay.
Ooh. Yeah, who's ball out? Back. Turner missed the shot.
That ball. That's some form of ball and trying to make the pick off of the clock, especially when the game being down.
Down by 2 possessions. Need a 3 here. We settle for a 2.
Some good defense.
Cougar's hands. He's got 2 defenders on him. Gives it up. That's a nice look, but it gets swatted out of there by Ballerz. Great defense.
Great defensive play.
Tracer gets a screen. He's inside on finish. Great defense from up there.
Push now.
It's taking advantage of Turner. Turner's a good defender, obviously.
Oh, look at that. Great pass.
Lucas Banks, 6'8", averaging almost 11 points on the screen, rebounds, and almost 4 assists per game. He's a ball player.
And that's why he's my player in the game, because McDougal knows he has him in mismatch. He knows to give it up. That's my guy. That's my player in the game right there. They win or lose.
Teammate wide open, give the ball to him. Yeah.
I got there.
We haven't talked that much about Lucas Banks. I like him. I can see Atlanta Hawks and Smith as a potential sort of ceiling comp for a player like Lucas Banks. Do it all.
Trey Turner has not been able to get a single bucket going before that basket in this overtime, and that's been huge at this turnaround.
Early deep three. Oh, go. Pay here. He's getting defenders on. Get up.
Any bucket that's been outside of the basket for Turner in this overtime has not been. He's looking to it again.
Short there. Still a chance for the Monsters. Let's see how quickly they can take a shot. If they want to wind this clock down or not. 10 seconds left in this overtime. That's not McDougal, but it's deflected. Oh, he's going to stay with the Monsters.
He hasn't been able to shot that basket. That's for him making that play.
I'll tell you this much. I think right now Rocky Mountain Monsters, there's no replay review at the Symbol Hoops level. I'm not 100% sure. Last touch, yellow jersey, but regardless, it's going to stay down here on this end. 5.5 left. Chance to tie or win on 3. Same question we had at the end of regulation, but different stakes on the line though this time. Who's Rocky going to have to take a shot?
Well, here's the thing. I know everybody's trying to get on. I know there's places that people got to be, but I mean, I wouldn't mind a little bit more basketball. But I mean,
going inside you want.
I'm going to McDougal. You know, I'm confident in it. If I get the switch that I want, I'm going to McDougal. I'm trusting that I can get the 3-point shot off here. But if I can get the switch that I want, because they added that last possession, Trey Turner just made a huge defensive play. Probably defensive play of the game there to make sure that ball went out of bounds. And they didn't have a chance to use him defensively on the inside there. But if I get the switch I want, I'm looking to do it. If not, I trust in the 3-pointer here.
You got some shooters on this team, including Island Early and Zane Davis. They can both fill it up. Let's see. They're going to do it here.
At home.
Set them down, and there you see McDougal down the block. Banks is going to inbound this. Lucas Banks.
Like Mike Green.
And swing it around. Got to get a shot up here. 2-point on the way. Rattles off. Wow. And that's the finish that this game deserved. Somebody had to lose and somebody had to win. The winner takes 6 in a row for Southeast Select, 6 in a row for Coach Brady. They are 17-6 on fire, folks. Rocky Mountain have lost to take 2 points in overtime, but they fall to 15-7. Lots more of the season to come and good basketball than them. Good night to all of you out there. Thank you for sticking with us through this overtime period. It was worth the wait. It's definitely worth your time to come back tomorrow. More SimWorld Hoops basketball starting 7 o'clock Eastern. Be back with us. Thank you once again from my own good self, Lava, my broadcasting partner in time tonight, LOB, Roniel, and all of us at SimWorld. We'll see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, this is where you see the game and be the game.